Welcome into the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 110.
Damn, boy. Sick-ass players with 110. If you're a player and you're in like a spring league and you got 110,
well, nobody
you're like
has
a referee
that.
or
See, that's
something.
why it's not funny, because nobody has that.
I didn't say it was funny. I'm just telling people
nobody
that,
has 110.
No, I just said that if you wear 110, it's not funny.
Yeah, chances are you're not doing that in a hockey game. You know what I'm saying?
If you wear 99, it's not funny either.
No, it's not. You should actually be kicked out.
You might get fucking banned for that. Actually, no. We said this the other day, and then people started messaging me no, here's a kid in this league, and he's dirty. Here's a kid. I'm like, oh god, sorry about that. Let the kid do his thing.
There's crazy.
He wants to be fucking greater. Let him do his fucking thing.
The most crazy stuff that goes down is at the 11:30 p.m. men's league games where guys
did
just go nuts.
Did you see that?
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Look, we have that same situation in Missouri. We have very tough dudes that play hockey in Missouri. But, hey, the Blues have been here since fucking 67. There's been hockey going on in the Brentwood League, Andy Strickland, which thank God you're not a part of.
Well, I played in it for years.
You'd be fucking dunzo.
No, but here's the deal.
Get out of here. Don't start with me.
No, I used to play in the BHL forever, right?
Don't start.
Forever. Mm-hmm. And you never knew who was partying that day, who was on what, people would snap left and right.
Or who wanted to make a point.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you dirtied them. Which you probably didn't do.
Never did.
My point is dirty, I'm going to fucking toe drag in my fucking ass. And everybody's like, oh, what's up?
I get dirty like that. You get dirty. Depends. Different ways of getting dirty.
You suck it up. Well, you get dirty in multiple ways. But here's the deal. If you get toe dragged and you toe drag a guy that's kind of tough and he's crazy, he's going to whack him back in the fucking legs. And there's guys that I know that have gotten fights that are getting sued. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
So we saw that clip.
And the referees have no control.
The referee,
they don't even want to be there.
Why would they? They're
like, I'm making $15 for the game. I have no interest in being here.
And that's why I told you.
And it's 11:30 at night.
Ask Jeff Lavecchio. We're going to his daddy. His fucking dad was the best ref in St.
I had
Louis.
him forever, man.
And I was a psycho, but I'd be like this. I'm like, hey, dude, hey, man. And I'd talk to him, be like, don't be too crazy. I'm like, okay, just give me a warning. I'd talk to him instead of being a psychopath. But we saw that clip where the guy jumped in the bench.
A men's league is different.
You're an idiot.
He wasn't officiating probably a lot of men's
No,
league
but this was still young. So you still could be. But men's league.
But you had a coach and stuff
If you do crazy things in men's league, you're a nutsack.
I agree, man.
You're a fucking moron. Go to the fucking gym and work out. Go to fucking an MMA gym and go fucking spar with somebody. You pussy. You can go jump on somebody and hurt him with his wife sitting there I love everything. We're just hanging out.
Or two-hand him over the head or whatever.
Or hit fucking old boy who we had on the podcast from Canada there, Mr. Canada.
Oh, yeah, Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith, I should remember that.
In the senior men's league game.
If you do that shit, you're a nutsack psycho. Stop. Get on something. Figure something out. Take your energy and dig a ditch and help your wife out with the fucking gardening. You fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to be too psychic.
I can't believe you're getting that crazy.
Because I'm digging ditches, motherfucker. That's what I'm doing. I know how to dig ditches now, and I paint. That's what I do.
You paint.
That's what I do.
Blaze the dog, by the way. I want to get this out.
Oh,
Blaze the dog. Blaze, born on 420. Blaze,
my baby,
has gone viral. She's gone viral.
Oh, is it a she?
I mean, he.
Is it a boy?
It's a boy.
You don't
yeah.
even know.
No, it's a boy.
Andy,
can you edit that out?
No. Are you? No.
Blaze is a boy.
This is unacceptable.
Sierra, the greatest dog in the history of the world, who was my baby. Okay, my white German Shepherd.
Look.
She lived to be 15. And it was a female, so I have
Peter.
that habit where I always
I'm
call
calling Peter. You left
Blaze
that damn dog. No. Time out. You don't know how to comfort a dog.
Yes, I do.
You don't know shit. You know how to interview fucking Jay Bowmeister. Fine. That poor dog was out there. It had icicles in its snout. It was dying. And then you post on Facebook and Instagram. I hate you. I'm taking over that fucking dog. And I might take Ty over too, by the way.
Oh, no, you can't. You can't have Ty.
He looked really cute. He looked really cute. Could you just keep sending pictures of Ty when he's on the ice with that flow?
I will.
And if you cut his hair, I might bag your ass up for multiple reasons.
Cutting it. And we played down in the basement last night. We almost called you.
No, I'm sleeping by 8:30.
We almost called you, but we played last night in the basement. And
don't wake me up.
We worked on our one-timers yesterday and the stick handling, dude. Stick handling's important.
If you guys if you have a kid, just if you don't have that little chill zone, Andy, you found it, and if Andy didn't find it, I would be all over him. So you guys all know that. Y'all know that. Y'all know I'd be all over Andy, but he found it, and he's doing one tease. Although Andy probably Ty has a harder shot than Andy, and that's fine. But still, if you guys can't find that zone, even with your girl, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to find that. You did. Good for you.
Yeah.
Everybody else does.
So Blaze, listen, I'm still considering giving Blaze away. I don't know exactly how.
Is it Blaze or Blaze?
It's Blaze.
Yeah.
Blaze the Golden Doodle, born on 420. Blaze.
Get that mind right. Does he get his mind right?
Well, listen, here's what happened to him yesterday. Ty and my wife, Laura, they spend like hours making this snowman. It could have won an international competition. And Blaze,
I doubt that.
He runs it over and he eats all the chocolate chips out of its eyes. You can't even have chocolate. Dogs can die from having chocolate.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He destroys the snowman.
Okay.
Then
Listen,
he eats one of Ty's
this is out of
gloves. He
control.
eats one of Ty's gloves.
You're out of control.
This Blaze has got a lot of things to figure out
You
right
are
now.
out of control.
Before we make this official decision.
I should have you arrested, but the thing is, I think they need to like eat a Hershey factory before them to die. But the point is, you suck at being a father of a dog. I don't like it. I'm not happy with this. I might adopt that goddamn thing. Enough's enough. The thing had, honestly, like, it's hanging out like, Daddy, help me. Help me. He's like, help me,
Did he look
Daddy.
like an offensive lineman
He's
from like the Pittsburgh
I'm
Steelers back in like the
freezing.
70s?
I'm freezing. And he's like, I don't want you in here unless you clean yourself off. Go to the Ritz real quick. Enough's enough with you and your bullshit.
He had icicles all up in his paws. I couldn't even get him out of his feet.
Oh, God.
Okay? So, but his beard, he looked like an offensive lineman
No,
for
he
the
didn't.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
No,
in like
he looked,
a playoff game.
No.
In the 1970s.
He looked cold and depressed, just like you when you're a cornerback for Parkway Ninth. Enough's enough. Poor goddamn thing. I'm calling PETA. And you're going to be sued.
Call him. What are they going to do?
It's a her, I think.
Oh, is it? Is PETA a she?
I don't really know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Who is PETA?
Well, they don't like you.
I'm glad you called out the men's league guy because, like, you know, let's
Don't be a fucking idiot.
I don't like crazy men's league guy anyway.
Okay, I did do a couple crazy things.
Did you ever get in a fight in a?
No.
Patty Maroon got in a little scrap in a floor hockey game. I think
he was throwing pussy bombs.
Ago.
He don't.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. They were slapping each other.
No, but
who's he kidding?
you never got that mad in a pickup game.
No, I fought at the
men's
bar.
league
I told you this. I fought at a bar at a young age. I got my ass kicked because the fucker choked me out. And I'm like,
oh really?
And then girls like laughed at me, and I'm like, I tried to wheel
you. Lost in a bar fight?
Yeah.
To a non-hockey player?
Dude, we talked about. I had people texting me about this on my goddamn social media. We did, but I'm gonna say it again. I was crushing cats in the OHL. Big dick. I'm cool. Look at me. Hey. And this guy from fucking Michigan's like, I'll fuck you up. I'm like, I'm the big dick. And he's like, let's go. And he put me in a pretzel in front of girls, and he like goes, and he lets me up. I'm like, help me.
Like the sleeper hold?
Yes. And then he puts me in another one. I'm like, and I'm like, help me. And the girl's like, let him go. Let him go.
See,
and then I got up, and the girl's like, I don't want you. I want the guy that fucked you up. And then they banged him all night.
See, Bieksa, he would have handled it.
Shut up.
Bieksa handled the other Russian who was doing like
the
dead leg kicks. That Fournier
Sergey
was doing. Fournier was doing the dead leg kicks.
Sergey Fedorov's brother's really tough. Fedor. I'm Fedor.
No,
Fedorov.
the other guy who was kicking his
tough.
leg. The other guy was kicking his leg.
Is that Fedor's brother, like Christoph? Hi, I'm get the fuck out of here.
No
wonder he knocked his ass out. I'm Fedor.
I've really been practicing that though. The dead leg kick.
Don't make me.
No, I've been
mean to
practicing the dead leg kick.
Don't make me be mean to you.
I'm confused on how that could take down Conor McGregor after we talked about it the other day.
Conor McGregor? Who's that?
Conor McGregor. Fournier beat him. And I was curious watching this how that could give him
Andy, I'm going to kick you right in your fucking kneecap.
Like, dude, move your leg. Don't let him keep doing that to you.
Because his stance is... Oh, God. Stop. Conor's stance is out, baby. He's like this. He's a lefty. He's like, I'm a fucking stand. I might kick you in the fucking head. I might roundhouse kick you in my fucking ass. So Poirier's like, I'm going to fucking leg kick you. And Conor was checking them bad boys like, what's up, blah, what's up, blah, what's up, blah. But then Fournier caught him right in the kneecap. And when you get hit in the kneecap, it happened to me with Anton Volchenkov. Hit me to the boards in practice.
Great shot blocker.
He's such a cool cat. It's unbelievable.
Is he?
Doesn't speak a lick of English.
Like none.
His English gets worse every year, like Vladimir Tarasenko.
Oh, it gets worse?
Yes, but I love him more for it because he's so goddamn funny. I love him. He fucked my knee up. I couldn't even walk. My knee was blasted so bad, but I could skate. So the point is, Conor got rocked so hard in the kneecap, Andy, like bam, bam, bam. And a couple times it looked like it didn't hurt that bad, but then he, like, you can't have any power on your punches or anything.
Most of the leg kicks were hitting the back of the calf.
It doesn't motherfucking matter? Have you taken a shot off the back of that little pussy calf of yours? Have you?
I have, actually.
When was that? Did Ty hit you
No, I
the other
think-
day?
Might have been in a game against like CBC or
Did you hit
something.
your fucking calf off the BMW? Oh, no, the Parsi that you're driving. Shut up. If you take a goddamn puck off that bad boy, you're done so.
Oh, I know.
And so
I
if you
know.
try to have power with punches, Andy, I swear to God, like you don't have it. And you got rocked, man.
Yeah.
You always had to like insert yourself and have to be mean. And I don't want to be mean.
Okay, let me ask you this. The COVID situation in the NHL
yeah.
right now, because
Lower.
now tonight, the day we're recording this, so Vegas
Yeah.
and the Blues canceled, not happening. We knew the issue involved the Vegas coaching staff from the previous game.
Yeah.
Now apparently another member from the staff has tested positive, and a player has tested
Because-
positive. Didn't you think there was a possibility of this happening?
Oh, if I'm in Vegas, baby, I'm cruising and gambling. And I'm just joking. That's not what it is. I don't know what they did. Pete DeBoer got, I guess.
Well, I'm
had
saying,
it.
like, if somebody has it, and then they're in the room or whatever, and then the players play that night, there's a chance that somebody else is going to get it, man.
That's how
I mean,
it's
the
spread.
COVID doesn't fuck around, right?
Yeah.
The
It's
virus
an
spreads.
orgy of COVID.
Super
and we don't want
spreader,
that.
yes.
It's a bunch of dudes. We don't want that. Although it's fine. But the point is, it's bad. There's going to be more of this. They're going to have to tack games on at the end of the year, and it's all good. And the guys right now, the best thing for the guys, for the St. Louis Blues, if you're on that road trip, it's like, oh, we have to cut a day out. Okay, let's go home. But they don't. They have to go to Anaheim.
I know.
And they're like,
And
oh,
stay
yeah.
in the hotel in Anaheim.
I'm in Anaheim at the Yellow Tree. The pine. What's it called? The Yellow Tree? No, doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about, guys.
do.
But it's not that nice. And then you walk in there like, oh, cool. I'm in my room. I want to do things. We can't. But I want to do. But you can't. Oh, cool. So I'm here for another
and that's
3
not
days.
even an
Yay.
area to really walk around that much
Nah,
either.
It's not. There's a little mall there. If they're saying the same
Vegas,
thing.
you know, you can at least maybe take a walk down the strip or whatever. It probably wouldn't be terrible.
Look,
But
if
you're
you
not
wanna,
going in. You can't
time
hang
out.
out. You can't do anything.
If you want to jam out in Vegas, if you want to get down with it, you're going to find whatever you need to find, homie. But in Anaheim, you're like, oh, there's a mall that's closed. Yay, let's go sit there like a skateboarder and skate around.
I know, man. It's tough. But, you know,
I know. It does suck.
and well, when you're on a road trip, I think if you're home, it's like whatever. Okay, then you just go
I'm with
spend the
my
night
family.
at home.
I can make sweet love to my
Right,
wife.
you do whatever you want.
Make out with her like I do all the time because I don't dip anymore.
But now when you're, but now when you're on the road, man, that makes it tough. What'd you think of the Mark Stone hit on
right.
Bozak?
I know you gave it. We both on the radio today because that's what we do. We're on the radio. Okay, I don't care. I don't want people
A
throwing.
lot of people are.
Can I talk?
Well, because
No.
you're hemming and hawing.
No.
So a lot of people are calling for like he should be
Stop.
suspended. Your take?
I know how to set shit up, homeboy. I know how to set shit up, baby. So here's the deal. I don't give a fuck. I don't want suspensions being thrown out left and right. I just don't. If they're a fucking clothespin fucking elbow or a knee to the knee, like I don't like that, or hit from behind, like I figure it out, homeboy. Or you sucker punch somebody. What Mark Stone did, who I love, by the way, who's like a classy cat, great hair, by the way. He's like Ryan O'Reilly in a sense.
You think it's great hair?
He has hair, Andy, and I have a cul-de-sac in the back of my fucking head.
Okay. He's a
so
sick
I
player,
like
though.
him.
Sick player.
So I look up to him one way or the other because he has good hair. But the point is, like, he doesn't do dirty shit. But he stuck fucking Bozy, homie. They were battling a little bit, and then they kind of got off guard, and Bozy was back checking. And whenever you back check and somebody stands in front of you and stops and digs their fucking skate in and takes their shoulder and buries you right in your sternum,
Yeah.
Andy, if I did that in one of these alumni skates, you'd be done.
I know.
So that's my point.
So listen, here's the
That's
deal.
my point.
Is it a cheap shot? Yes.
Yes,
Was
it
it
is.
dirty? Yes.
It is. Is this
Do we need to suspend everybody with it? No, I think it
I don't
should
know.
be penalized.
Go
though.
beat him up.
There should
He
be,
fought too,
There
by
should
the
be
way.
a penalty. Listen, Shen looked pissed. I think Shen really, truly
fight him
wanted to.
then.
And for whatever reason, Falk did before Shen was able to or whatever. So, I'll give Justin Falk credit for stepping up.
Falky
But
boy.
at the end of the day, like, Falk, right? He doesn't have a reputation as, like, that's not really a big part of his game.
We don't kind of want him doing that.
You know?
Because what if
No.
Stoner would have got caught?
But
I got
let me ask you this. Would you rather a guy fight Stone who could maybe, I don't want to say hurt him, but like do some damage in a fight?
Well, here's the point. So Falk out of the box, I think what it was, and he was kind of the first one to do it. Maybe he was the first one to get there if Cliffy wasn't out there.
Stone's probably like, okay, yeah, I'll go you.
You're not going to hurt me. Look,
I don't have to deal with Clifford
can I say
or
something real
Shen.
quick? You know what the best thing in the world is when you do something fucking dumb like that, and you have to fight a guy that's not going to hurt you. It's like me fighting Andy right now. It's like me like stealing your dog, which I'm gonna do, and maybe your son, and then like Andy's like, give me my son and dog bag. Yeah, I'm like, fuck you, and he's like, I'm gonna fight you. I'm like, let's go. That's how Stone was with Falk. So it's like, whatever. So now Cliffy should be like, look, you can't stick my boy like that, dude. You stuck him hard. And Bosey's a good guy. Like, he's not dirty. So he hit his fucking head off the ice, and he's like, he was fucked up, man. When you get stuck in the sternum, it hurts so bad, dude. I'm telling you. So if Cliffy needs to kind of do something here, man, because if not, like, what are you doing?
I mean, they're not facing Vegas now.
I know, but like, it's like you need to. I don't know. You have to stay in the lineup, man. You got De La Rose. You got these other guys.
With
like,
that, as a guy who kind of played that role, would that
kind of do it?
You did a lot.
I went
to
college, right?
You did a lot of off the draw, like square off against tough guys type stuff, like whatever. You would like respond and stuff like that too. But here's my question though. Would you be upset if somebody?
So degrading.
No.
Sort of fucking.
No, dude, you had to fight heavies all the time who were in the.
I'm looking at my engineer right now. He's shaking his head.
Are you fighting Mark Stone?
I wish I could.
Or would you just run his ass?
I'd catch him with his head, but I wouldn't be out there.
Like he's not fighting you. Are you crazy?
But I'll catch him.
But you know what I'm saying?
I know
he's not fighting you.
But usually degrade me. Sorry, I just stick up for myself.
Maybe you're fighting.
Sorry.
Maybe you're fighting Reaver. Okay?
Sorry.
Maybe you're fighting Reaver.
I would right now in a heartbeat because he doesn't throw punches. They just like wrestle.
But would it bother you if like a teammate got to him before you did?
Yeah. Oh God.
That's my question.
Well, you took forever to ask that. Here's the point. You're 100% right on that question. Thank you. I remember a couple of times where I play with guys that get
like
rocked.
if you're Shen, for example.
Let me explain. So there's guys when I was in the league that would get rocked all the time. And I'd be like on the bench, or you wouldn't get there in time because somebody else would grab them, and all of a sudden there's a big scuffle, and they get penalties, and all of a sudden you get scored on 3 times because some guy that tried to stick up for the guy, but it should be you, and you're on the ice, but you couldn't get there in time. But you know, Bryce Salvador grabs him and is like, I'm going to hug you. But then he gets a 2, 5, and 10 for being a third man in.
Right.
And you're like, fuck off.
And then it's like over.
It's over, and I can't do anything else because I'm sitting because it's all penalties.
Like, don't you think that should carry over and spill over into tonight's game if they were playing?
Yes, kind of. Yeah.
Like, if you're Shen, you're like, dude, it's not over.
But not.
Shen and Bozak are best of friends,
dude. That's your buddy.
Best of friends.
He won you. Dude, he was a big part of your success of everything. Like, that's your blood.
So if you're Shen,
your blood
you're
now.
kind of like, dude, my boy, like, it sucks being on the road as it is. Now I can't even hang out with Bosey.
And if you left here,
if
you left here right now, and somebody fucking jumped you, and I knew who it was, which it could have been like a 13-year-old girl, I'd go to her and be like, "Stop that now! Stop that, little one!
Little chihuahua.
Stop that, little one!" No, but I'd stick up for you, like. That's your blood. Like you make like your business, your everything together. It's like it's weird.
So
man.
like, listen, Falk, man, I give him all the credit in the world, but I would have liked to see like.
Cliffy go down the pipe.
Clifford, listen, because you know what happens?
Run somebody.
Now the fan club for Justin Falk here in St. Louis, it's like expanded. It's like a whole nother community.
Well, it might be
now.
too much.
Well, there's a lot of fans.
It's like a volcano
that now who probably talked a lot of crap about this guy.
Totally.
Who now all of a sudden are like saying, okay, this guy isn't so bad. Clifford, it would have been a great way for him to introduce himself.
Can I give an analogy?
Too.
Can I give a cool analogy?
No, and to his defense, he may not have been on the ice with them, whatever. But
wasn't.
Chief knows. Chief could put him out out there too.
No doubt about that.
Try to get him out there.
I'll give you an analogy.
Against Stone.
Analogy would be like a volcano, like I said before, where it builds up. Like Falk's awesome, and it goes up to the atmosphere, and it goes up way high, and everybody's like, "Look, the volcano looks so pretty," just like Pompeii back in 79 A.D. in southern Italy. And all of a sudden, the volcano's like, "You know what?
It looks like what?"
I told you, Pompeii in 79 A.D. in southern fucking Italy, where a volcano, Mount Vesuvius went off, and it went up, and everybody's like, oh, we escaped, and now we're coming back. And all of a sudden, they're like, wow, look at this big thing. And it crashed down upon them, just like Justin Falk. If you do too much stuff, horrible analogy, my bad on this, but I try to like relate history with stuff, but the ash cloud comes down and like, you know, incinerates everybody.
He's getting asked about that mustache, too, and he's like, yeah, I just have a mustache.
Does it look cool? Not really.
Oh, you don't like the mustache?
I just gave you an analogy with Mount Vesuvius, Pompeii, and then you asked me about the mustache, and I'm like, I don't really like it.
No, the mustache is cool.
Is it Movember?
It's okay. See, that's the thing.
No,
it's not.
If I'm his wife, I'm like, you got cool hair. Is your personality great? I don't know yet, but your mustache doesn't make you look cooler.
That's a good mustache. And it's helping his game, too.
Anything facial hair for you is good because you can't grow any. So I can't take you seriously.
I can grow a beard. If I really let it go, I could grow one.
Oh, really?
You don't think I could?
So can my wife,
People
Kate.
are loving that Andre Agassi comparison I keep making about you because you look like Andre Agassi. You have like an Agassi beard.
I do?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
I get front. Look, I have a cul-de-sac in the back of my head, but the front part of my head, which Hans Wyman, I'll give you a shout out. What's up, baby? I got sponsors. They hooked me up in the front part. So if you have the cameras on me, I'm like, fuck, Cam's sexy as fuck. What's up, baby?
Hey.
But if there's a camera on the back of my head, they're like, oh, Cam's a fucking piece of shit.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
I never really got your take on this whole Dubois situation.
Dubois?
In Columbus. Dubois.
Dubois?
Does that bother you? Like young guys
Hell
who,
yeah, it fucking pissed me the
what
fuck
do you
off.
think the veterans in that room
Man,
are
I saw the
thinking?
clip, dude. I saw the clip, dude. Where he goes down like, I'm not forechecking. I'm going to stand here and be like, I'm making $5 million, but I don't like my coach. I'm scared. Let's go. Fuck you. Fuck, don't edit this out. I don't give a shit. You don't fucking forecheck because I don't like the coach. What's going on?
Or whatever the reason is.
$5 million what? And the guy's like, what are you doing? And then like fucking Foligno on the bench like, what, are you here? Get the fuck out of here, little boy. We'll bring up whoever the fuck. Actually, you know what? We'll go to the Women's National Hockey League and bring somebody up. You little bitch. Fuck. That sucked, Andy. You look like such a fucking bitch, boy. Tortorella's mean. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's it. Write it down, quote it. I don't care.
I hope Line lights it up in Columbus.
I hope so too. But Line was a bitch too a little bit.
A little bit. He was complaining a little bit.
But
too.
Dubois was like, I'm not gonna. Did you see that clip? Am I wrong on this, guys? Like, correct me.
It's one of the worst shifts you're gonna see.
And if you tell me I'm wrong, I'll be like, yeah, God, you're right.
But then he's happy. His dad works in the organization. That's kind of weird too.
You pussed out on that fucking team with killers on that team that bust their ass and have no talent and they figure ways out. And you be a bitch when you're making $5 schmil. Fuck you.
Oh, wow. You're really coming after...
I don't care, man. What's he going to do?
Pierre-Luc
Come on the podcast?
Dubois. I don't know. We may have to get him on now. I thought he's handled himself okay in some of the interviews that he's done.
Dude, of course you are. Of course you are, Andy. Of course you're going to do that. You remember Brett Hall, 1998? To this day, 1990. I had it in my notes on the radio. Not that you need to do this kind of stuff, but Hawley's calling out the league shit, crazy shit. Guys are robots now. So you act like a bitch like that. At least be like, no, this guy's a fucking nutsack. And I can't take him. Now you're like, me? Well, the contract went, fuck you. And if I'm a captain on that goddamn team and he's pushing out in a fucking corner and you're paying him that much money, fuck you.
Yeah.
Pardon my language, all you guys. I'm sorry. I know a couple guys they have their kids in the car, and I'm sorry.
Well, what's the
age
limit for this show?
Well, it's... I don't know.
35?
50?
50. You got to be 50.
Men or women? You
got to be 50 years old for this one.
No, you don't. You could be 15.
Well, listen.
You could be 15.
We'll see how this goes.
I was drinking beer at 15.
We'll see how this goes in Winnipeg.
I was stealing from my daddy.
But just, listen, this reputation could follow him around, man. You never know. If things don't go his way, is this how he's going to react?
Can I explain one more thing? Guys,
when things don't go people's way, and this is what they do, man, I'm not a big fan of that, dude.
You're a coach.
Yeah.
You're a coach. What if some kid did that and say Car Shield and they want to make AAA or whatever the case is, or underneath whatever, and like they told me I got this, and you give that parents credit for something because the kid's good or whatever the case is, and he's just like, I'm just gonna go lay in a corner. Would you not? If you don't lose your mind on him, Andy, I don't want you on the podcast anymore. Like honestly, like are you gonna be like, it's okay, your mom's really good looking, I'm gonna hang out. Like, is that the case? Like, what is going on here? It's insanity to me.
No,
I don't like it.
I hear. All right, Gerard Gallant.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What do they call him? Turk?
Yeah.
Or Spud?
Spuddy. Did he not hear us off the bat?
I don't know. Yeah. He couldn't hear us right away. But this guy is a winner. He wins a lot of games. People will be surprised what type of career this guy had. Yeah. Like, he was a great goal scorer, man. Yeah. And he fought a ton. Like, he fought a lot. Not just like, you don't like it when I say, you'll be like, oh, he didn't fight that much.
I didn't say that.
No, not about him, but other guys you'll say. Like, if I say someone fought a lot.
Well, they act tough. Gerard doesn't act tough.
But this guy fought a lot, man.
He doesn't act tough. Like, some of those guys are, I did this. No, you didn't.
And he's a nice guy.
He had like 3 fights.
I want to see him find an organization that he can just like stay with.
It's on the podcast.
And so Seattle would be a good fit, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up, landing there. And to me, it's a no-brainer when you consider you have an expansion team, and this guy's been through it and had a ton of success. Yeah. Took him to the Stanley Cup final. Why wouldn't you have that guy be your first coach, right?
Man, he seems like a cool guy. And if you ask all the guys that we've talked to, like, geez, Andy, like, they all like him, man. Mm-hmm. They do.
I want to give John Forsland a shout-out, by the way, who got the play-by-play job in Seattle. He's a great dude.
Awesome guy.
Yeah.
And
great announcer, too.
And you're going to get Jimmy Rutherford on, but he's got some things going on in Pittsburgh.
That was a little weird, man. That was a little weird.
I know.
Now, with his age and everything,
who knows?
Apparently it's not health related.
I think he's family maybe oriented.
Whatever it is, man. And you got COVID going on at his age, the travel, everything that's required.
Yep. You just
around the clock.
Just pray for him, man.
This guy's won 3 cups?
Can I say one other thing, please? Bell, let's talk.
What do you know about that?
Well, I mean, mental health is horrible. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially now with COVID, guys. Look, I keep my DMs open. Andy, sir, do you keep your?
They do, and I
get
a lot of messages.
I said you.
I do. I get a lot of messages. Massage therapists, people are messaging me.
We don't care about them. Here's the deal. I got my message open, guys. If you want to talk, I've been through shit. I talk to you guys all the time. I feel like I'm like a half therapist to entertainer, podcast guy. I don't give a fuck what you want to call me, but I'm there for you. If you're fucking jammed up, man.
Meathead? Can we call you that?
Yeah, you can, dude. Okay. And that's fine. I went through fucking shit. So call me if you're down and out, man. Bell, let's talk. Yeah. You had Ripper. You had fucking Belak. You had Boogie, man. Today was kind of a weird day for some of these guys that we've all dealt with, Andy, and hung out with and know personally that went through some tough times. So we're here for you guys, man. We all act like an asshole sometimes.
And you know what, though, man? I feel like now more than ever, because of initiatives like Bell Let's Talk and some of these other programs, people feel more comfortable coming out with their issues, man.
Dude, please.
And saying, hey, man, this is what I'm dealing with. People are far less judgmental about it. And everyone deals with shit, man. And sometimes just getting it out there, talking about it, will make you feel better.
I respect you 10 times more. Mm-hmm. I've done it, dude.
Aaron Ward had a thing today about some gambling issues he had.
Talk about it. Didn't you feel like, no, my demon's out of me now? Everybody know, I'm successful. I'm doing great now. Whatever, you can't hold that in, man. We've all been there, dude. I'm there for you guys. So just remember that.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
And everybody deals with it. And again, and Cam is being serious.
Dead serious on this. I chirp Andy a lot, but God, dude, I'll get my fucking wife on here. If you want to talk to her, she'll tell you everything. So it was hardcore shit. So we're here, man. This is
there's Bell Let's Talk.
Yeah,
and
dude.
There's Cam Let's Talk.
Yeah, I'm Cam Let's Talk. Damn right.
Okay.
Who's Bell anyway? Bell provider or something?
I think it's a company up there in Canada.
Cam Let's Talk, dude. Yeah. Let's go in the United States. Let's go. I'm here, baby. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk to all y'all.
But Gerard Gallant, man, good stuff from him. And again, man, he's a coach who I think he interviewed with Washington and New Jersey. I asked that question about being able to bring your own staff, like your assistant coaches and stuff like that, because he's got guys that have been with him, and these guys want to make sure they can do that. That's always an issue with some of these jobs.
Yeah.
Because not every job allows you that flexibility to bring your own people on board.
Yeah,
No
doubt.
For a coach, what about Babcock, real quick? Doing the TV stuff, is it too much? Could it be more obvious? And listen, I've been in touch with Babs. Hopefully we get him on here shortly. Is it just pretty obvious that it's almost like a campaign to try to rehabilitate his reputation?
What does that mean? What does that benefit anybody to do that?
But
why?
But they bring him on NBC and they're asking about all these issues and stuff like that.
He's a smart guy and he's been through a lot and he made mistakes. So if he says I shouldn't have done that with Mitch Marner, if he's doing that kind of stuff, I'm like, okay. But if he's not, then I'm like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Are you open? Just like we just talked about, Aaron Ward, myself, I'll tell you anything. But if Babcock wants to come on and rejuvenate himself, then be like, I fucked up. Mm-hmm. I fucked up here. I fucked up there. Mitchie Marner taking him in front of everybody and doing it. If we had him on, we're asking him hardcore shit, homeboy. So if he's not doing that, then I respect his vision. And I respect his hockey knowledge, but on the other hand, I need you to be real, homie. Mm-hmm. I need you to be I fucked up.
Did you get that? Did you watch the clip?
Not at all. What'd he say? What'd he say for me to be oh?
Or did it come across like a post game scrum?
It's just he hasn't been here's where I'm bad. Like, just like, how about you just say, everybody stop. Here's where I'm bad. And this is where I fucked up. And don't say fuck, but whatever. But this is where I messed up. This, that. But this is what I know. And I know how to win. And I know how to deal with this and that and the other. And here's what I'm going to explain to you guys.
Yeah.
But right now,
like, should I have done that? No.
Exactly. Like, just tell me that.
You know, and he did say that, but.
Did he?
You know, it doesn't always require you to go on national television on NBC to do that either.
Go have a young girl talk about shit then instead of you. So if we're waiting for you to be like really normal and like upfront, I don't see that yet. So therefore, what the fuck are you doing?
It felt like it was a forced campaign to promote Mike Babcock.
You could have a million other people on there that are just down to earth and real. Like, I'll tell you everything. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah, I did that.
I want people to be so open about everything. Even if you're, it's like you messed up so many times where I'm like, I respect you more because you fucked up and now you're here. But you admit that what you did. I'm like, I could see you, and I'm like, I could relate to you. But if you're just like a fake guy, like, yeah, I messed up, but here's what I did. No. Well, explain that. Right. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like, I want detail. And unless you do that, I do it every second of the day.
Right.
You can't, like, what? And you're making fucking fuck you.
Why are you like that? Why are there like so many guys? Because they're just citing like 2 or 3 situations, but there's way more than that, as you know. Like, why are all these guys?
There's a million things.
That's my question. Why are all these guys saying this about you?
I know. Are people saying shit about you? Like there's a reason why. Are they saying shit about Gerard Gallant?
We're gonna get him on. We're gonna get him. No, they're not.
Exactly.
The players are like, wow, you fired Gerard.
Yeah, we love him.
Dude, we just had 100 points last year.
Like, he didn't take Mitch Marner in and tell him to fucking rat out everybody.
How about the play in Game 7 against San Jose when Pavelski got the high stick and, of course, Vegas got the 5-minute man? That essentially was the beginning of the end for Gerard Gallant, dude, and it should never have even happened like that.
So ridiculous. Well, the Blues could have got fucked over with the San Jose, too, with the hand pass.
The hand pass, yeah.
So, I mean, that's hockey, too, man. Look,
that was the calm chief back then. That was the calm chief.
Oh, my God.
He was just like, okay, we move on.
No, I like that, though, because Bruce Cassidy started chirping at the next. Anyway, so.
Well, next round, yeah.
So, exactly. So, Gerard Gallant, I look at this like, it's hockey, homeboy. He let him 4, man. The call was shit, but he let him 4.
No, exactly.
And then he lost.
What happened on that PK?
So it's like, what'd you do? Yeah. So, like, you could adjust it. So, like, he didn't. He's cool. That's what I mean. Like, he's like, no, I fucked. Like, no, I should have done.
Dude, I hung out with Kocur and Probert, dude. I did.
Like, he's not making excuses. Like, can we have real people in everything we watch?
I know. What did you feel like you were watching on NBC? Is that not real?
I know.
He's had a lot of hunting trips recently. I want to talk to him about that. He's had a lot of hunting trips. He's got a lot of money coming his way for at least the next 3-4 years too.
When you're on the radio every day, which you are too, and you talk about your real life shit every day and people like it, you know who's real when you listen to him. Who's
and that's all people want.
And that's it, homie.
That's all people want.
I ain't perfect, bruh.
No.
I'm pretty close, though, because I'm very handsome. My teeth are fucked up. My hair's fucking gone. I'm getting fat because I drink too much beer.
Oh, you're moving. How's the move
going?
Oh,
my move's good, though.
Okay, good.
My move's good.
All right.
My wife's happy.
We got a sit down coming up, by the way, with Jay Bomeister, man. I mean, he's doing well. You know, they're coming up on the year anniversary of when he had that episode.
Did you ask him when he saw the light? Did he?
That's what you wanted. I wasn't comfortable asking
him
that. No, I didn't ask.
Why would you not ask him that? Why would you not ask him that? Did you see the fucking light? Did you go? Did he die? Was he? I
think you told me that actually after I did the interview.
Was he clinically dead?
I don't think so.
And if he was, because did he see something? Was there something that said, "Hey, J-Bo, you're a pretty fucking good dude. Like, you're a really good dude. Like, you don't do bad things. Like, I talk to people like, you're a good guy. You're wholesome. You're a pure soul is what we call.
Yeah.
Like, did you see anything? Purgatory? Like what?
We'll ask him that next time.
When's next time?
Bring him on the podcast, dude.
Okay.
He'll do that.
I'll ask him that.
Yeah, we'll ask him that. Okay. All right. While we're thinking about that, you get ready for Gerard Gallant, man, as he's on episode number 110 on the Cam and Strick Podcast. As always, brought to you by CarShield and CarShield.com. Mention the phone number. Call the phone number.
Oh, you fucked up.
You had me You had me thrown off here.
You fucked up.
You had me thrown off.
Why?
Mention the promo code CAM, which is absolutely embarrassing. You'll save 10%. CarShield.com is the website. 800-857-2481. 800-857-2481. Get the protection you need.
Yes.
You never know when you're going to need it. Doesn't cost a whole lot. You can structure the plan the way that you want it. You want a short-term plan, you can have it. Long-term plan, you can have that too. Again, you never know when something's going to go down with your vehicle. Make sure you're protected. The only way to be protected is with CarShield and carshield.com.
Damn right.
Now, Bud Light Seltzer. And again, they're coming out with a new lemonade. Did I see that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Bud Light lemonade.
2020 was a lemon of a year, and they're making lemonade.
So it's a lemonade.
Yeah.
A lemonade seltzer from Bud Light, man. Check that out. I don't know if it's better than the rest.
I'd be crushing those bad boys.
What do you think?
I'd be crushing them bad boys. And again, it's just like mango, where you could like mix and match different things.
Yeah,
You want to have a little party, which you won't do because you're cheap. But I'll have parties, and I'll get that bad boy, and you can mix and match and make some fucking cool shit. You want to go on a float trip, which you won't do because you don't know what water looks like. But you go on float trips, and all of a sudden you'll take this like fucking lemonade seltzer. You mix them with different things. You make a cool cocktail.
It's
blah,
definitely
blah, blah.
like a float trip type drink for sure. The lemonade seltzer.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, I do know from like down like my time down in like the Current River and like Steelville and everything. Yeah, you know where that is, honestly?
Steelville is actually the center of the United States, to be completely honest.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Like the exact center?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Snake River. There's another river called. I think every state has a Snake River, but there is a Snake River
what a
here.
cowboy.
But,
Andy's such a fucking cowboy.
But go down to.
Yeah, ask Andy about the rivers in Missouri, not me. Don't worry about me. Ask fucking Andy.
Why would we ask you?
He'll hire a guy to like float his fucking raft down.
What do you do? Go in your backyard?
No,
You have your dad drop you off.
My dad will drop me a fucking ride, he will, and he'll pack my goddamn canoe too, and we'll put it in the back of my truck, and we'll go down fucking, and I'll tip the goddamn thing, and some guy will fucking save me, and he'll think I'm Cam Neely, and then I'll act like I'm Cam Neely.
I think it might be the Black River too.
Andy, stop it and stop it now.
There is.
You haven't been down any fucking river.
Oh yeah, dude. The Current River.
Yeah, just keep
Great
naming
spot. Anyway, yeah, so Bud Light Seltzer. Get that variety pack. Check out all the original flavors: lemon, lime, strawberry, black cherry, and mango.
Mango.
And go to budlight.com. Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. All right, when I drive black tie. How's that BMW treating you?
Well, it looks sexy as fuck.
Does it? And
It
who's
looks sexy
driving
as
it? Are you
fuck.
driving it or is your wife driving?
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little promo when I move into my house. I'm going to put that bad boy. It's all washed up. It's going to be sitting in my driveway. People are going to think I'm wealthy.
You can't do anything right now, by the way. I asked you to do like an Instagram live video. You're like, I can't do it at my house.
My house is a goddamn disaster. Okay, so Andy wants me to do like
nobody
non-stop.
cares what his house
looks like.
looks
do.
like. No, they don't. They don't care about your house.
Well, you want 17 likes or you want like 16,000? Like, get out of here.
Oh, that's what it comes down to.
No, not 16,000, but more like 800. There's a big difference. The point is, I got the new house. My house is a fucking disaster. I got my car. I can't even drive it that much because I'm moving. But I'm gonna put it in the driveway, and it's gonna look sexy as hell. Is that okay?
Okay, so you'll do them when you move to your new house.
Yeah, in 2 days.
Here's the deal with Dry Black Tie. Check out the app. Download the app. And this is what it comes down to. You just pick out the car that you want by going to your app, and they'll come by, they'll drop it off. This is a limited number of spots available.
Very much so.
Okay, there's not a whole lot of spots available.
So, can I give you an example of what I want to do?
Don't get stuck being on the wait list, which could happen if you wait around. So if you're looking for like a nice-ass luxury vehicle for a summer day and you want that, you go to your app. They'll bring it to you. If it's going to snow like it did yesterday and you need a nice four-wheel drive vehicle, go to your app and they'll bring you the four-wheel drive car.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I got one.
You almost did that yesterday.
Well, yeah. I was going to get that, another maybe the Raptor, put a bunch of stuff in the back, move it. Like just stuff like that. So easy peasy. And they're great people. And all you got to do is pay for your gas. Awesome stuff when it comes to, of course, the payment every year, but every month, but it's so easy. You can pick out whatever the hell you want. And you can mix and match, Andy. You got your Porsche, but if you need something hardcore to get home into the blue car part of Ladue.
Yeah. Well, it gives you access to an entire fleet of vehicles ranging from exotic to luxury to economy vehicles. So if you're looking for something small, an economy vehicle,
are you allowed to go into your
part
of the neighborhood without a BMW?
That's debatable. That is absolutely debatable. I'll let you know on that. Well,
you should know on that. I don't care about me. I'm not going in there. I'm the wealthy part of Franklin County.
Hey, the best part, man, this is cheaper than leasing or owning a car.
It is.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah. So anyway, check it out. Dry Black Tie. When I drive black tie.
Yeah, baby.
All right, keep it handsome, baby. You got the shampoo, the conditioner. I use the beard moisturizer. You should try that too.
It's great, but
They've got the
Don't
head
waste it on
balm.
you.
They've got the head balm. They've got all the different hair products. Get it. But more importantly, get that Fight Ugly hoodie that Cam is wearing today. Like, you wear
I
it
need
probably
a white one.
17, 18
But
days
people
a month.
ask me, like, Cam,
I
what's
know,
going on? I'm
I
like,
know.
I fight the ugly.
I'm glad you're
dudes.
wearing it again today. A portion of the proceeds go back to the Montreal Resource Center.
Yes.
So, again, we're fighting the ugly. We're fighting the bullies that are out there.
Yeah, I got pissed on.
Yeah.
Remember that?
You did.
Yeah. He pissed all over
Yeah.
me. I'm like, oh, goddamn. And he was really big. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. And my dad's like, what the fuck happened? I'm like, he got pissed on. He's like, oh, you have to go sit up for
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine. And then Raven, who pissed on me, was actually a pretty decent guy because his like mom got beat up and his dad wasn't there.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, fuck, come on to our house. And now we're friends, Andy.
And Mirko's
That's
the
what
man,
happens.
too. See, Mirko has a story, too, who started this company. This guy is the absolute man. We love Mirko, man, and everything that he's doing. He's creating some apparel that we're going to have coming out very soon, too, over there at keepithandsome.com. But mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save 15%.
That's what you do, baby.
Across the board,
Yeah,
statewide,
yeah,
on
yeah.
the Fight Ugly hoodie, and, of course, with all their hair products as well.
Give real Reed Simpson a shout out, too.
Oh, yeah, we'll give Reed a shout out.
I'm following on Facebook.
Absolutely, for sure.
Shit.
Yeah, no doubt
My
about
boy.
it. And, of course, CanadipsCBD.com. Check out all the flavors. Get that California roll. Or unless you settled in on one, just get the individual roll that you like. They got the mint, the spearmint, the American spice, the citrus, and of course, mango. 5 flavors out of Humboldt County, so you know it's legit. Case flat out getting it done. They've got so much stuff planned for the Super Bowl as well, man. So again, Case Mandel and company are flat out doing their thing up there in Humboldt County.
Yeah, it's helped me a lot too, man. Like, I don't chew when I'm driving and stuff like that. Even when we're doing radio and stuff, like, there's so many little things that you realize that you throw that Big Dipper in, but now you just throw those bad boys in, and you feel chilled out too.
Well, you claim you used to do a log a day, which I think is absolutely debatable on that one. I don't know if I don't know if I can say that. I mean, a log a day.
All the shit I've done, like you're like
5
that's what you're
tins,
complaining.
5 tins in one day.
All the shit.
I'm glad you're not doing that anymore, man. I'll tell you that right now.
All the shit I've done, you're like, that's what.
Well, I'm just glad you're not doing that anymore.
No, I'm not.
5 tins
At all.
Yeah, that's
5 tens. I didn't say 5 tens or 1 tens.
That's what a log is.
Yeah, but they're tiny. They're not Canadian tiny, but y'all know what I'm talking about with that. $40 a fucking tin up there.
Oh my! Oh, are they really?
Yeah, dude, they're
For
hardcore.
real?
Yeah, they're hardcore.
When's the last time you bought one up in Canada? I mean, are you
10 years ago?
Are you up to date on the pricing?
Yes, because
Okay.
everybody messages me every goddamn day.
Everybody
homie.
does.
You get that? When we look at my messages, these
Sending-
guys like this is
sending
like
you
fucking
messages.
$80 a tin up here. Help me with Canada.
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ.
Well, we can help you with that.
As
man.
I said.
Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save 20% site wide. So take advantage of that. Find the flavor that you like the most, and again, man, get in with Canadips, the healthier alternative to tobacco, with their 100% American hemp pouches. The coconut fiber pouches, man, are absolutely sick. All right, Bellman.com. Speaking of boys, Dan Bellman. What up, Dan?
Pimping ain't easy.
And again, out there in Troy, Missouri, they got the Cadillac, the Buick, the GMC. No better place to buy a car, hands down, in the entire country. I'll tell you that. I'll put it out there right now.
Right now.
No better place to buy a car anywhere else in the country
Your
than
wife
Bellman.
can.
Check it out, Bellman.com. Across the street there in Troy, they got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. So much selection. No matter what you're looking for, you can find it at Bellman.com. So, again, Dan Bellman taking care of people. And, again, the customer service separates you from the rest,
Like,
from the pack.
Your wife could be like, hi, I'm Kate.
Yes.
I'm coming in here.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Kate. Oh, God, we love your husband. He's sexy. His teeth are kind of yellow. His teeth are they're not like Andy's teeth, but we love him. And they'll like in a cave, like, oh, that's cool. And they'll go in there and they'll be easy and stuff like that. Instead of you know who, Andy.
Oh, yeah. We know how
Like,
they
we
are.
know, like,
We don't even say
here's
it.
the funny thing, like,
Don't
when,
even
when
say
10
it.
swinging dicks are coming out, Andy's like, I want my wife to go because I'm scared. That's the bitch of it. You can't have that. And it does not happen at Bellman. If there's 10 swinging dicks, you're like, no, can I get Lori to go? You might have Ty go, actually, to buy a car, which you can't.
Maybe.
That's how bad it is, Andy. That's how bad it is.
No, again, you could send anybody there,
Anybody.
including your wife, dude, and they'll
Yes.
take care of you. All right, Gerard Gallant, man. One of the nicest people in the game. Great coach. He's a winner. And he'll be behind an NHL bench before too long. And he's with us now here on the Cam and Strick Podcast.
Yep.
Is your name Spud? Is it Turk? Is it Gerard? Like, we're
Who gave you that?
We didn't even know you had nicknames there, Gerard.
They're both kind of bad, to be honest
We
with
call you Jerry.
Yeah. Turk.
you. Okay.
What does that mean? Where'd that come from?
I've had that all my life. I've had it since I've been 3 years old. I just used to go in the basement of my uncle's place, and I used to chase turkeys when I was 2 or 3 years old. I guess that's what I don't even remember. One of my older brothers gave me that nickname, so it just stuck with me. And there were so many Gallants in PEI. Nickname, you went by the nickname, so.
Wow, but you're not like all the people like out west, like in Saskatchewan, who are all related. Like there's a lot of Gallants, but you guys aren't all related, though, are you?
I think we are all related. To be honest with you.
Well, we got guys up in Saskatchewan.
Well, yeah, Saskatchewan.
They're all
Chaser,
related.
Joey Kocur,
Barry
Melrose. They all say they're related to one another.
It's kind of weird.
It's kind of scaring us, Gerard. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I know all that crew you just talked about.
So hold on, you're chasing turkeys? I got to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with all the turkeys? Like, I hear people like fighting bears and like skating on like killer ponds and rivers in Canada, but not chasing turkeys.
No, one of my uncles was raising turkeys in his basement. There was a clay basement back in those days, and I used to go down there and play and chase after the little turkeys. So. It was, like I said, I don't even remember it. I was too young to remember it, but my older brothers told me the story, and that's why they called me Turk, and then it stuck.
Well, you must have some sort of like, work on your ability somehow, chasing turkeys around. Like, how'd you get into hockey? Were you playing in the basement? I mean, of course,
he's Canadian.
The ponds were frozen, so you do your thing. Like we out here in Eureka, Missouri, look at all the Facebook posts, and we love it. So, how'd you get into hockey?
No, like I said, it's just every Canadian kid down us back here, and it was cold all winter long, and we played. There was outdoor rinks all over the place. I mean, from a little place in PEI, and there was probably 3 or 4 outdoor rinks, and every day from the school got over, we were on outdoor rinks, and we stayed there till dark. And I liked the game. I grew up. My house was probably 200 yards from the arena, and we were at the rink all the time. We cleaned the building to get extra ice time, and they let us on the ice. We just sweep the stands for them after, and then the ice was open. We were on it all the time, so it was pretty easy back in those days to get on the ice. And like I said, during the winter months, we were either at the rink or we're on the ponds all the time.
I love that.
500 an hour now.
This guy, he's sweeping the bleachers. He's like, I will clean the bleachers if you give us extra ice time. I love that about you because it creates a little work ethic there too. But I want to talk about PEI, Prince Edward Island, like. Set the scene. Are there like yachts everywhere? Is it beautiful? Like what's going on Prince Edward? What's going on Prince Edward Island? What's up there? PEI.
Well, from June to September, it's beautiful. They got great beaches, great little rivers all over the place. I mean, there's no yachts in that down here, but there's
we know
all kinds of water sports and beaches, and the golf courses are outstanding. We got, I think there's 23 golf courses in Little Prince Edward Island, so we can golf anywhere and any day, and they're beautiful courses. So it's a great place to be in the summertime. It's not too hot. The weather's perfect. Temperatures around 80, and it's a lot to like for sure. Those 4, and the winters are long and tough, but those 4 months are beautiful.
Okay, hold on. When you're from PEI, so like, are you a fan of who? Like the Canadians, the Habs? Like, who's your team?
I grew up New York Islanders.
Oh, really?
Well, they won like 50 cups.
There you go. Are you a front runner fan right
that's
there?
What it
Come
is.
on now. Listen, Gerard, what about the Canadian teams?
No, I hated Montreal with a passion. Anybody that could beat Montreal, I liked at that time. And the only guys I cheered for, to be honest with you, was Billy McMillan was with the New York Islanders at that time. That's why I cheered for them. And I cheered a little bit for Toronto because Errol Thompson played there. Before that. So those type of guys, the PEI guys, there wasn't a whole lot of PEI guys in the NHL, but you always cheered for those guys. And so when Billy McMillan was with the Islanders, they were winning those cups, and they were beating the Canadian teams, and I was excited with that. So and Bossy and those guys, Trottier, Bossy, those guys, they were great players when I was probably in midget of Adam hockey, and really enjoyed watching those guys.
So you didn't like the Canadians? Why is that though? Were they like? They won too much.
They were too good.
Too good.
Yeah, they won too much.
Yeah,
yes.
They're too good.
They were too good, and they were winning all the time, and it looked easy. It was like the Yankees, they win all the time, so you get tired of that.
It's like Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady,
yeah,
Gerard. It's Tom Brady.
Do you watch football?
But now the Canadians, you know what? I hated the Canadians, but I worked for that organization for 2 years, and now I have more respect for that organization. I mean, they're great people, great organization. I loved my 2 years in Montreal, so it was awesome. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but Tom Brady, yeah, that's incredible. I'm not a big football fan, to be honest with you, but I mean, he's incredible. Just incredible.
Oh my God!
Can you tell
And he
us?
looks great too.
Can you tell Cam about was it Billy McMillan? I mean, of all the players on the Islanders, you
know.
have to mention the one guy we're not that familiar
I know who's
with.
Billy McMillan.
Like I know about Trottier, I know about Bossy.
Bossy does his celebration.
You know, I know Billy Smith. Like, all right, give us an idea of who Billy McMillan is.
And all the guys that I knew too, the big guys. But Billy was probably a hard-working player on that team that competed and battled hard. I mean, he was before them. I think he was assistant general manager at the time when they were winning the cups. He played before those main guys. So he's probably 7, 8 years older than Trottier and Bossy and all those guys. So I think he was assistant general manager there, and he played some years there. But he's just he's an older guy that's from Prince Edward Island that we had a lot of respect for him. When I think I went to his hockey school in Charlottetown, which is an hour from my hometown when I was a kid, and you know, he had the New York Islanders jackets on and all that, and the guy said he played for the New York Islanders, and it was a big thrill for kids from PEI to see NHL hockey players.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned going to Montreal for 2 years and as an assistant coach. I'm curious what it's like, because like every kid, probably Canadian kid, like they know about the history and they'd love to play there. But like when you're a coach, like is it almost like being a player? Like when you're an assistant coach, when you join an organization like that, just taking in, I mean, all the history
Everything.
and the pregame festivities, the ceremonies, all that. Like as a coach, could
National
you truly
anthem.
appreciate it maybe the same way a player could?
You really could. I mean, what I felt like I found it right away there. I mean, I was a recognizable player because I'm from PEI and people knew me in Montreal. But when I got named assistant coach there and I started walking around, I lived downtown, me and my wife. We went for walks, we went to restaurants. You couldn't pay for your food. You couldn't. Everybody recognized you. I mean, the people were real good, but everybody knew who you were. I mean, and like I said, I didn't think it'd be that bad, but they were great. I mean, the fans were great. The people were great. And like I said, you go to a restaurant and you'd have a hard time to pay for your meal. Either somebody would buy your meal, one of the people in the restaurants, or the owner would buy your meal, and it was just like, come on, you know, I don't want to come back if you're going to keep doing this all the time. Like,
Sure you do.
They were. Yeah, I hear you, but you know what? It was a great city to be, and I was shocked at how good it was. They're passionate about their game. I mean, everybody is, but this place just goes to a different level. And I loved my 2 years there. It was great. You know, Mark Bergman, who I played with, was a general manager, and Michelle Taylor was a head coach. And you know, they treated us really well. It was a great organization to be around. I had great people in there, and really enjoyed it.
It is weird when people do buy your meals. You're like, I don't want to come in here anymore. I feel like a scavenger. So I understand that part. But I will say this, so Gerard, like, listen, you were an assistant coach, though. Montreal could be the other way, too. I mean, if you're not doing well and you're a head coach, you're not doing well, you're the captain of that team. Like, it's a different story, right?
Total different story. And again, I was there with Michel Therrien, who I didn't really know a whole lot when I got the job with him. He was his first year as head coach, and you know, the first 2 years we had good success. We had a good team. We went to the semifinals. We played really good hockey, and everything was going good. And then, you know, after year 2, I got hired to go to Florida, and then Michel was, you know, he stayed in Montreal. Obviously, he was still head coach in Montreal, and things didn't go as good the next couple of years. And I mean, I talked to Michel twice a week, and it's tough. I mean, when they want a winning team there, no matter what they got, and every game they wanted to win, and they wanted to be a contender, and when it went the other way a little bit there for a couple of years, it was really tough. I know Michel had a tough time, and obviously got fired there shortly after that. But it was, you know, it's tough when things aren't going good in those good markets for sure.
Can you speak French?
No, I mean I can speak enough, you know, to get along. Like my name is Acadian French, which is a different type of French in Montreal. But I understand probably 75% of it. When, you know, I can understand when somebody's talking about me for sure. I can understand the hockey lingo, you know. But I just I don't have the confidence to speak the French. I mean, you can pick it up easily. I played 3 years when I was in the Quebec League as a junior player coming out of PEI. I played 3 years in Sherbrooke, Quebec, and you know, you pick it up pretty good because you're there for 3 full years. But you lose it pretty quick too.
Okay.
Yeah, you know the key words.
I was going to say, because if you knew French, we were going to push you to be the next
How's-
head coach of Montreal, although they're winning too much right now, so
They're doing well.
they won't be looking for a head coach now. They're winning too much. But that's
They're
kind of
fine, very good.
but let me ask you this, though, as an assistant coach there, like, is that, you think that's a requirement? Like, do you have to be able to speak French? Like, would you have to be able to be the head coach there in Montreal in a market like that?
Personally, now, if you ask me right now, I don't think so. I mean, I know there's a lot of talk about the media and that, but I don't think it would be a huge difference. Like if they had a chance to get an opportunity where, they were looking for a coach, I don't think the first thing that comes to mind is we're going to interview 3 guys that could speak French only. I don't think that'll happen. I could be dead wrong, but I get no indication of that.
The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by Car Shield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview.
Yeah, it'd be tough one way or the other. Well, unless they do rip on you, and
then you would never
you
even
don't
know.
understand. Like, I think they love me. Oh, cool.
Exactly. Like,
because I know when I was there, everything was done in English, with the players and all that. I know the media part of it and all that part of it, the different side of it. So it's tough there, and I understand that. But
yeah, you coached in the Quebec League too. You're like an honorary.
Yeah, dude, you've been everywhere.
Listen,
who are you kidding?
Gerard, you don't even have to know French. You're officially a French Canadian without even knowing French.
And you have the accent.
You played in the Quebec League. You coached in the Quebec League. You coached in Montreal. You're official. So,
and you're American too, by the way. You coach hockey.
I got it all.
You do have it all. Listen. I do want to get into this with you, man. I know you were drafted by the Red Wings, and I remember watching you growing up. To be honest with you, and you were involved in a lot of crazy. Fights with Bob Probert and Domi and things like that. And I believe you're on the ice. I think you were the second fight in the first Domi-Probert fight. Explain Bob Probert to everybody. Everybody loves him so much and remembers him and things like that. But explain him as a player, and do you connect with him at all?
Oh, yeah. No, you know what? I remember when he first came to our training camp. I think I'm 2 years older than Bob, and he comes to our training camp and he looks like a big gorilla. Like he was just a big man, and he didn't skate that well at the time, and he was hunched over. And he went to the farm club and he played down there, and all of a sudden, you hear about his reputation, and then you start seeing, when he got called up and he played with us. And I know one thing, playing with him, I didn't mind scrapping once in a while, but when you had this guy beside you, you didn't have to worry about nothing. He was, and everybody knows how tough he was. And, he was probably the best fighter I ever saw in the National Hockey League, along with Joe Kocur right beside him too. But those two guys were incredible. But Bob was such a good guy. We all know he had some issues and problems, going through his career. But I'll tell you, as a person, there was no better guy. He'd come in to practice, and the players loved him. Like, he had a joke every day, and he had a good attitude every day coming to the rink. There was obviously some issues there off the ice, but he was such a good guy. Everybody loved him.
Oh yeah,
and teammates, you wouldn't put up with that if you didn't love how good a guy he was.
100%. And you get weeded out no matter how tough or good you are in hockey. That's just what hockey does to people. But you were an assistant captain with actually Rick Zombo, a good friend of Andy and I's, by the way. Coach at Lindenwood out here, by the way. Gerard, awesome guy. I wish he would have coached me with the St. Louis Sting, but things didn't work out. But when you saw a guy like that, and did you know that he had problems? Did you have to sit him down? You kind of knew something was going on. Like, how'd you deal with that as an older guy? Yeah, you know what? When we go on the road, we do as much as possible, myself and Yzerman and some of the guys. I liked a few pops like everybody else did, but we knew at times, the night before games, you try and go out and take the right guys with you. So you try and go out for pizza with phobia, different stuff like that. Because, guys had issues, and we knew that. So as much as possible, we tried to take them out to, get away from the bars or get away from this place and that place. So, but, it's never easy.
back in our day, I mean, that was part of the thing. I mean, there wasn't 2 or 3 guys that went to the bars night before the game. There were 7 or 8 guys in every team, and that was part of the game at that time. So I wasn't one of them. I wasn't good enough to play good the next night when I was drinking. So early on, I knew about that. So the night before a game, I got my rest and got ready to play. But other guys, that was part of their routine. And you know what? 99% of those guys, it didn't affect their style of play either. They come in, they played the games, and we've seen enough of those guys. So it doesn't happen much anymore. But back in that day, it happened quite a bit.
They're playing video games now,
Yeah, exactly. But people don't realize how good you were, man. I mean, like, you look at the numbers you put up, how many goals you scored, and then you slide over in the column, and there you are with, like, over 200 penalty minutes.
God.
Like, why were you fighting so much if you were so good offensively? Do you feel like that took away from, like what could your numbers have been if you spent more time on the ice, or could you not help yourself?
It was tough, Andy. Come on.
Would you snap, or did they want you to play that way? Like, give us an idea why you felt like that had to be a part of your game.
You know what? I wanted to play that way. I enjoyed the game. I mean, like I said, I wasn't a big guy. I was 185 pounds when I played the NHL, so I was a middleweight guy that I liked to play the game hard. And like for instance, Clark Gillies was my favorite player. I mean, I knew I wasn't a heavyweight fighter, but I played my best hockey when I fought in the first period. And for whatever reason, I was never scared to fight. I enjoyed it. It was a part of the game back then more than it is today. And I just said I played better when I fought. So it was there, and he didn't win them all, he didn't lose them all, but you had and again, it was enjoyable, And I remember one of my first fights, it was always, when you're a kid watching the National Hockey League games, it's hockey night in Canada, and Saturday night you're watching the games on TV, and I said if I ever get the chance, I want to score a goal and I want to have a fight, So my first Saturday night game, I think we're playing the Maple Leafs, and sure enough, you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to fight tonight. If I don't score, I'm going to fight for sure. So I think I did the fight. I don't think I scored that night against Toronto, but I did have a fight. So, and you tell all your buddies that, watch tonight, something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the best though? When you're in Toronto, they're like, I'm putting a show on for the boys. Everybody's watching now. You know what? I am going to get a scrap. It gives you extra motivation. But you mentioned you like to get it away, like get it out of the way in the first period.
It made them play better.
Yes, because you just get it done. And all the boys are pumped up, like, no, let's go. And if you go hit somebody now, like, you don't have to deal with it really again because you already did your job. Like, explain that to everybody.
Well, no, I mean, seriously, we go into games, like, especially we played back in the North Division in our day. It was Chicago, it was in Minnesota, in Toronto, in St. Louis. And really, I mean, I knew the 2 or 3 guys that if I'm going to fight tonight, it's going to be one of those 3 guys. So you sort of had your guy. If something happened, that's who you're going to fight, And where Probert, Kocur would have Todd, you one of those type of players, we'd have the type of guy, a Bob Basson or, a Rick Zombo or somebody like that. So you knew your type of guy that you're going to pair off with. And a lot of nights it didn't happen, but I'm saying that's basically what your role was in your team. And like I said, in the first period, it was one of those rivalry games, and you played a team back to back. You sort of knew it was going to happen, and you got it out of the way. And again, it wasn't like I was stressed up. I mean, I think it was fun. I enjoyed going out there. Nobody used to get hurt back in the day. Now they're big and strong nowadays, and more guys get hurt fighting. But in our day, there was very few guys that get hurt unless they fought Probert or Kocur.
Or Dave Brown.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Exactly.
Why do guys get hurt now, but back then they didn't get hurt as much? Like, explain that.
That's what it seems like. I just think the guys are so big and strong now. Then, like Toby was a big guy then, but he wasn't a big, strong guy. Like he wasn't into the weights like some of the other guys. I mean, Joey Kocur was the one guy that he had the huge arm and the huge right hand, and when he fought, it was somebody could get hurt when he connected because he was one of the big punchers. It just seems nowadays not really nowadays, but back 6-7 years ago, there were some big boys in the NHL, and George Parris and those guys, and probably had better balance, and they were doing more fighting techniques. And when they hit you, you seen guys get knocked out a few times, and it wasn't too fun to see.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you took Bob and Brownie and Ewan, and you compared it to the guys now, and they like did like a wrestling competition. Twister. Those guys would murder them. But you're right. 6-7 years ago, you got Derek Bugard, you got Eric Goddard, you got Colton Orr, and then Brian McGrattan. You got guys that were MMA training, hockey fight training, where Bob Probert didn't do it. He just put his head down and threw rights, and maybe he'll throw a left here and there. So they got into the spirit of fighting.
Then went and scored a goal.
Then scored 14, and again in 22 of that year. But it evolved, and then it stopped.
Yeah, it really seemed to be like that. Like you said, there was just some of those guys, like I said, it made you a little bit sick to your stomach when you seen some of those guys get hurt, and I was assistant coach in Montreal, and George Curtis got hit that night, and he was knocked out. It just made you, again, I enjoyed fighting, but it sort of turned you a little bit that night when he went down and banged his head like that. It scared you a little bit.
Yeah, well, he hit his head remember when Bugard knocked out 13 guys in a row? Remember that?
Yeah.
He was crushing guys, and you're like, whoa. And I remember going up there and what do you do against him? He was so powerful. And you try to, people always try to compare him to the guys back in the 80s. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, it really is. Different era, different time. And like you said, these guys were so big and strong, and like I said, the guys back in my era, there were some big boys, but they weren't, they weren't training just for the fighting. It seemed to be different. They weren't as big and muscular as those guys.
So listen, Spud. Are we calling him Spud or Turk?
They said muscular like you, Andy.
Yeah, hey, you never know.
That is fine.
All right, so what do you tell your guys now, though? When you're coaching, the other night, Justin Falk, he fought Mark Stone. It was almost
Stone did
it
something weird.
Came out of nowhere. It was the first fight in the Pacific Division this year. I think there's been 7 fighting majors, something like that. Not a whole lot. So, what do you tell your guys, and when it comes to, fighting and protecting yourself?
Sticking up for your
do you
teammates.
encourage them to do that? Do you leave it alone? Just leave it up to the individual player? How do you handle it in your dressing room?
Don't talk about it, really. It doesn't happen enough to talk about. And, I want the guys to play. I talk about winning hockey games and competing for pucks and that. So I've never discussed about, going out and somebody got to take care of this guy or something like that. That's not part of what we do now as coaches. It's not part of the game anymore. And, it happens. Like I said, the other night something happened, and they go after them and fight. But I don't think any coach has anything to do with fighting or any talk about fighting. Things happen in the game, and the players police themselves and they take care of things out there.
Yeah, what do you do? Because then somebody gets off their game because no one's used to doing it anymore. So the dirty stuff's still going to happen. So it's the revenge now.
Then they sue you 30 years later.
Well, that too. But now,
Coach made me do it.
But yeah, to be completely honest with you, Gerard, no one's even. I've had so many coaches. No one's ever tapped me on the back and said, "Go fight a guy." No, ever in my career. Yeah. But even now, though, it's the revenge is hey, go play hard and go hit guys clean, and then hold on to the puck, and then you'll embarrass them. That's the revenge now.
Yeah, no. There's nothing. I agree with you. Nobody's ever told me ever to go out and fight, and I've never seen that coach ever tell anybody to go out and fight. Whether it happened, I don't know. But
I have.
I never. Nobody ever told Probert to go out and fight. Probert knows when he has to fight.
Yeah.
Joe Kocur knew when they had to fight. Nobody had to tell them, and that was part of the game, and they were looking for the fight. So, but I'd never looked at a player and said, somebody's got to take care of this. You know what I mean? They know. You don't have to tell them.
Hey, let's talk about the new Bud Light Seltzer.
Oh, yeah.
It's an easy-drinking hard seltzer that comes in 4 delicious fruit flavors. Black cherry, strawberry, lemon lime, and Cam's favorite, mango. With only 100 calories, 5% alcohol, and less than a gram of sugar, you might as well have a few tonight or this weekend. Go to BudLight.com to buy Bud Light Seltzer online. Must be 21 years of age or older. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good.
Yeah.
Now back to the interview.
Yeah, if you don't know, you're getting sent down.
Who's the toughest guy you had to deal with though as a player? Who really scared you? You just were okay, this is
because he had to deal with stuff.
This
Andy,
makes me nervous. Who was that guy for you?
When I played?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, the worst was one night. There was a skirmish in the corner, and I was with Dave Brown.
Oh,
so the referee, the linesman jumps in between us, and I happened to hit him a good one right in the eye and blacken his eye. And I was scared for the next 10 times we played them. Thank God I had Probert and Kocur there, because the last thing I wanted to be on the ice was with Dave Brown, and it was just happened to be a freak thing. Like I said, there was a skirmish and guys were pushing in the corner, and all of a sudden, me being dumb, took a swing and hit Dave Brown and had to hit him right in the eye and blasted his eye. So, you're thinking for the next 10 games, he's going to rip my head off.
Well, that's what he does.
Fortunately, we didn't get on the ice together too much, so that was good.
Well, he even Chaser talked about this, Andy. Remember that? We talk about Probert and Dave Brown, and he's like, well, Brownie remembers. He remembers, and he's going to get you 3 games later. And if he can't get you, he's going to find a way. He was terrifying, and he was a lefty too, Gerard? Like, you can't get going on a guy like that.
And he was he's a good person, great man. He didn't, he took care of business on the ice and played his role as good as anybody played it. Just like a solid guy.
Yeah, people love him.
Hey, so what happened to your back? Like, how'd you hurt your back, which ultimately ended your career? I mean, that's terrible how that happened. Like, what was the story there?
Yeah, no, it was just over time. There was nothing, not one play or no one hit or nothing like that. It just bothered me over time, and probably 2 years before I had my back surgery, it was just bothering me one game, and all of a sudden I just felt nerve pain going down my legs a little bit, and I said to the trainers, and they said, well, let's take a couple of games off here and see. So I did some rehab and that, and felt better, and came back and played again for 10 games, then the same thing over and over. So finally, we went to a couple different doctors, and they finally said, well, you had a blockage between L4 and L5, and they clean it up, we'll have to do that. And so we did it, and I played a couple of years after that, but not near at the same level. I probably lost about 20% mobility, and the quickness and flexibility and all that. So it was frustrating because you weren't the same player. You were in the middle of your career, and things were going well for me, and then you come back, and it's not the same. Your quickness isn't there. Your strength in your back isn't there. So it was disappointing right then. But that's part of it. I was pretty fortunate to play 12 years, and that was a big part of it.
Yeah, 12 years is a long time. But when you do get hurt, are you like, God, you get depressed, man? Like, right? Like, you're like, what am I doing? What's my future? Did I save enough money? What are these white things in my hand? Like, did you ever go through any, like, depression in that kind of sense?
No, I can't say I did, to be honest with you. No, I mean, I knew I was going to play again after the surgery. It was late in the year, and I missed the playoffs, so it was disappointing. But I was trying to get back in shape for the next year, and actually it was the year after. I think I played another year after that in Detroit, and then the next year I was a free agent. At the time, there wasn't a whole lot of free agents back then, and I signed in Tampa Bay for 3 years. So I was pretty excited and happy, got a new contract in 3 more years, but like I said, it didn't go near as well. I wasn't the same player as I was in Detroit, and it was just a matter of time before I was at the end. But no, I didn't really get depressed or nothing like that. I've always looked at it, and I've been pretty fortunate to come from PEI and have a career in the National Hockey League as a player. So I was excited with that.
I hear that.
I always love connecting the dots too, like how you get into coaching and like the relationships that you create as a player.
Yeah.
Like leads to opportunities, down the road as a coach, whether it's with Steve Yzerman and coaching with Team Canada, Mark Bergevin going to Montreal, and then you have Doug McLean as an assistant coach, and then you're working for him in Columbus. So that's what it's all about, man. Those relationships, like you don't always look at it that way, but it's amazing how they come back around and how beneficial it is that you cross paths with some of these guys.
No, 100%, and that's exactly what happens. I mean, when I get done playing, I come back to Prince Edward Island, and one of my old school teachers, Gerard Smith is his name, and he's a great hockey person, a good guy, and he was coaching the local junior A team. Who, when I was 7 and 8 years old, that's where I wanted to be. I didn't think about the NHL. I thought about playing junior A in Summerside. That was the goal, and so he was coaching that team, and I started helping him out. He asked me to help him out, so I went there when I could, probably twice a week I go to the practices, and I didn't know nothing about coaching, as players don't. I mean, we know some drills and that, but I didn't know a whole lot about coaching. So I went there, and at Christmas time, he decided he was going to step away. He was too busy doing teaching school, and he's a big horse guy, so he's into the horses a lot. So he stepped. I think that was his plan all along, but he didn't really say it. But he stepped away, so I took the team over then, the junior A team, and 2 years later, we won the Royal Bank Cup, which is the Centennial Cup, and it was we hosted it. It was the first time it was won east of Ontario, so it was a big thing, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good bunch of kids. It was you're from your hometown, and you win a national championship, so it was fun and enjoyed it. And then I got the opportunity, obviously, with a good friend of mine, and Doug McLean's also from Somerset, PEI, the same hometown, and he was taking over the new team in Columbus, and he asked me if I'd like to be an assistant there. So, it's just sort of, like you said, you make connections, you try and do the right things in your career and try and be a good person, and people give you an opportunity.
Small world, hockey community, baby.
So
that's where it goes.
So how much hockey are you watching right now? Are you watching all the games, Gerard? Because listen, we all know you're going to coach again. You're going to have plenty of opportunities.
Right.
You've already interviewed with some jobs, or some teams, I should say. So
you're on our podcast, which always helps.
So your phone's got you'll probably get a job tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're coming with you, by the way.
Yeah, really.
We're on your staff, actually, for now on.
That's perfect.
You take us with you. So no, how much hockey are you watching? Like, are you watching every team every night? Like, where are you at with that?
You know what? Right now with the COVID going on, it's not really bad in PEI, so we're pretty fortunate to be in Prince Edward Island. So, but the games start down here. I'll pick up a game at 8:00, and I usually watch a game and a half, something like that, and but it's every night. And now last Saturday, for instance, they started at 1:00 in the afternoon, and they ended up 1 at night. So I watched 3 of those games, and it's not all work either. You try and put your trips together and doing stuff and get prepared if you get another opportunity, stuff like that. You're watching and different players and all that different stuff. But sometimes you watch a game as a fan too, and I enjoy doing that the odd time too. So, but it's good that hockey's back on, because it definitely gives you something to do, and like I said, hopefully try and prepare.
Do you watch teams that you think that may be in need of a coaching change? And down the line, or do you not focus on that, and you focus on just whatever game you want to watch, like the rest of us?
How would you study for that?
Yeah, no, you know what? I try and pick the teams that play the systems that I play a little bit. You know what I mean? Seriously, when coaches build their system tapes, you're looking at different stuff and different teams, and sometimes you go over different stuff. And I know what my system tape's going to be about, but then again, you look at some other teams and say, you know what, I haven't played the 1-1-3 or the 1-2-2 and the different systems. So you look at different stuff and say, how's that going to work with this, or how's that going to work with this group of players and stuff like that. So you go over different scenarios, and I've always from Florida to Vegas, my systems are pretty much the same, and they work pretty good for me, and I like them and that. But you're always trying to upgrade, and you're always trying to get better as a coach.
Yeah.
If something can help you, you hope you look at those things, and you watch teams' power plays, and teams' penalty kills, and see what you like, what you don't like. So it's easy when you're not working.
No shit. Well, it's easy for Andy and I too.
And let me ask
you,
when
we break it down
real quick, Cam. You said you have your assistants. Like, how important is that for you, Gerard? Like, when you take a job that you want to bring in your own coaches, like that's got to be important for some of you who have had jobs in the past, like to bring in your own people. Is that difficult to do, or do most teams let you do that?
You know what? It depends what happens. Like I said, if something happens during the season, in the middle of the season, it's hard to bring your own people in right away. You know what I mean? So but in a perfect world, you want to bring your own people in. You want to know who you're going to bring in. You have an idea who you're going to bring in. I had Mike Kelly with me. Mike's been with me in Florida. Mike's been with me in Vegas. Mike also got fired with me, and he's a guy I'm going to want to take back with me again, obviously. And I can't see any team saying no. Well, we don't want to take Mike Kelly. Stuff like that. Most general managers say, who do you want to bring in with you? Who do you want to have your assistant coaches? And some guys might say, well, and I want you to keep this guy. He's a real solid guy. And you look at that and you work with that. But for the most part, I don't think that's an issue with general managers. It's not really that.
We love getting guys like you on, because we love to pick your brain from Hitch to, every Bruce Boudreau to a bunch of guys. But, as a coach, as a player, you play a long time. You play with a bunch of guys, a bunch of leaders. And when you're coaching, with all the guys you played with and throughout the years, like a guy like Stevie Yzerman, where you're like, oh my God, all these qualities you have, do you try to like implement him into some of these guys you're coaching? Like, God, do this what Stevie Y did because it worked. Like, how do you do that?
You know what? You can't do that anymore because most of these guys don't know who. Like some of the guys in Vegas didn't even know I played in the NHL.
Ooh, I know. I could see.
I'm from Eureka, Missouri, and I knew it.
I could see that. And because like these kids,
kidding?
I bet you. Listen, I coach 15-year-olds right now with our AAA team, and I always bring up guys like even if it's like a Peter Forsberg, like they don't even know who Peter Forsberg is.
You're way better than him, Gerard. By the way,
I mean, they wouldn't even. Paul Coffey. Like I brought up his name one time, and I make these kids go Google it and like come back with a little report the next practice. Like you better know who the hell this guy is.
Gerard, you got to do that. Like they got to know who Stevie Y is.
Tell me they knew who Stevie Y was.
No, it's amazing. Like I said, I think everybody knows Stevie Y and knows he played, but I don't think they know how good a player he was or what kind of player he was. A lot of these guys,
Yeah.
Like I said, the day when somebody asked me what kind of player were you and all that, and I said, so the next day, as a joke, I brought in one of my hockey cards, and it had 220 pins, 35 goals, and the guy looked at me and said, well, the guy was Ryan Reeves. He was just sort of giggling, Reeves was a good guy, and I had a lot of fun with him and really respected him, and so he just sort of giggled and said, really? Like, so it was sort of fun.
He stole Cam's job in St. Louis, but we had him
I
on
might
too.
bag him up for that, Gerard, to be honest with you, because he doesn't throw punches anymore. We all know that. No, he's a great. I had him over at my house when he took my job. I showed him my hockey fight tapes. Okay, we're not even going to get into it, but that is kind of funny. He didn't know who you were. Oh my God, we're going to rip him apart. He's been on the podcast.
He didn't know who a lot of guys are.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't know who a lot of.
He's aloof.
He doesn't know who
he's aloof to a lot of things.
Are. Time to talk about our boy Dan Bellman. Bellman.com. That's with two N's, not one. BEHLMANN.com. Hey, check out the new inventory. Check out the pre-owned vehicles. You looking for a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Jeep, or Ram? How about a Cadillac or a Buick GMC? All in Troy, Missouri. Get your new wheels in time for the winter. Now back to the interview. All right, but listen, you go to Florida. It's been well documented. Listen, you had a great year. You're a Jack Adams finalist. They fire you the next year. Like, what's that like when you get fired? Like the year after you're a Jack Adams finalist. Like, how do you come to grips with that, Gerard? Like, does that stick with you for months? Do you ever get over it?
The Florida thing, it bothered me, because we were on the right track. I thought the team was going the right way and everything was going good. And then the next year, of course, the year I got fired with them, I think it was 21 games in or 22 games into the season.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan Huberto hasn't played a game. Nick Bukestad hasn't played a game, and we're off to I think we're one game under 500 when I got fired. So it was disappointing. I mean, we thought we were a better team than that, and everybody knew we were a better team than that. But two of our top 5 players, in my opinion, didn't play a game, and there was reason for it, for us not having a great start. But it was definitely, that one hurt for sure. There was no doubt, and it wasn't shocking because I knew the owner wasn't real happy, and he thought we should have been a lot better than that. And Dale Talon was my boss at that time, and Dale and me and Dale are great friends, and still great friends today. So it was pretty tough on him also. So it wasn't like Dale came in and said I'm going to fire you. It doesn't happen like that sometimes, but it was tough, and the way things go down, it's part of it. But when as we learn, I mean, coaches, it's part of your job, and when you sign the contract, it says in the contract, you can be fired with cause or without cause, and it's the way it is. So.
Yeah. Well, it's got to make you feel good, though. Like after it happens, everyone around hockey is just being like, oh, my God, this guy's such a good coach. He's going to get another job in no time. But you cut yourself short. You were actually a game over 500, not a game under 500 when they let you go.
Geez,
okay?
let him be him,
So
please.
he's over 500, not under 500. So you guys were actually doing okay without the players that you're talking about. But everyone focuses on the picture that was taken. You waiting for the taxi cab, like set the record straight. I mean, it made SportsCenter. People were just real critical of the Florida organization at that time. The optics were bad, but did the optics tell the real story?
No, that was I felt bad for the young kid that was the travel coordinator at the time. To be totally honest with you, we're sitting out there waiting. We had our luggage. the bus didn't want to leave. Like, the players were upset. I mean, we knew all the players had a good relationship with the players, so we're sitting there waiting and waiting. The town car is not coming to pick us up. He's not getting there. He's not coming. So finally, I look out and I see a taxi coming up the street, and there's probably 100 fans over there, 50 fans waiting for autographs from the home team, from the Carolina team. And I looked at Mike Kelly and I said, Mike, if that taxi is empty, we're going to jump in it. So it wasn't like they called the taxi. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was happy that they got a lot of trouble over it, and a lot of slack over it. But it wasn't that wasn't the plan. They didn't call a taxi. They had a town car coming, but it took about an hour, and he wasn't coming, so I finally just said, let's get out of here. So it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey,
look, don't worry about it. When I got traded to the Blues, Lou made me walk back from Jersey, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay.
Hey, that's what they get for firing you. Okay, so that's what happens. Yeah. They get the negative attention. All right, now let's talk about Vegas, because again, like that first year in Vegas, you guys go to the final. What were your expectations? Like, what kind of team did you think you'd be inheriting following the expansion draft? And the first time you looked at your roster, like, did you say, wow, we've got a good team here? Or when did you, how long did it take you to figure out what kind of roster you had there?
Well, to be honest with you, when we had our meetings and had we picked our team and everything was looking, I mean, we didn't have any expectations, to be totally honest with you. Like, it was like, go out there, make sure we compete, play hard every night, and, hopefully win as many games as we can. So I don't think there was really any expectations until probably about game 10, when we went. I think we started out 8-1-1 out of the gate, and then all of a sudden we said, you know what, these players we're a better team than we thought we were going to be, and guys like James Neal was coming through big the first 10 games, and Braden McNabb was a better player than people thought he was, and all of a sudden we got in a roll, and Marc-Andre Fleury, all the goalies got hurt, but we just kept playing, and there was a lot of good hockey players there, and we didn't expect it, but once the season started, we had confidence, and probably by Christmas time we said to each other, well, you know what, nobody's proved that they're much better than us, so let's keep it going here. And the guys it was a lot of fun. I mean, that season will never be forgotten. It was just so much fun, and every time we played the other guys, one of the guys that was picked up in the expansion draft, we played his old team. It was just sort of like, let's rally for this guy tonight, let's rally for this guy tonight, and you know what, the guys really stuck behind that, and it was their thing, and they really did a great job with it. So they were disappointed when they would lose for one of our guys,
Yeah, and you want that. So, okay, you're the coach. You're in Vegas. The boys are getting a little bit of popularity. No, they're getting a lot of popularity. Are you like, okay, how do I control this? Where the guy's kind of cruising around a little bit, where you're like, they're getting attention. People in Vegas are grabbing them all over the place. Like, how'd you handle that process?
Well, we made rules. I mean, George McPhee and Kelly and myself, we sat down and talked about, night before games, trying to limit as much casino stuff and make sure the players were rested. I mean, it was, to be honest with you, I don't think it was a big deal. I thought it was going to be a huge deal, but at the end of the day, the players were pretty committed on, making sure we're having a good season, make sure they're doing the right things. I don't think, unless you guys know more than I do.
We do. Oh, no, I'll tell you right now. I'm joking. But you have to pump. Like this, there's still a double. Look. You don't want them to go out and do crazy stuff, but you're also new to the city, and these people want to know who these players are. Was the ownership group like they have to be here, and here, and you're like, well, I don't want them there. Like, was there any conflict in that area?
The ownership group was great on that scenario because we wanted to make sure they're ready for games. They did a lot of stuff, but the best thing we could have ever done, and to be honest with you, it really worked out well, it was we opened the practices, and there was 500-600 people every day at our practice.
I know.
So just go talk to them. Just go talk to them there. There you go.
It's so crazy.
That's awesome.
They did autographs after practices, so everything, you know what, they did a lot of stuff there, and that was perfect. So it really worked out well.
Turk, it was a bigger deal for the road teams. They were the ones who were partying,
or the booster club like myself.
Like the Vegas flu or whatever they would call it. Like that.
Oh God,
that was real, wasn't it? Don't you think?
I think definitely, for sure. There's no doubt. Back in the day, who wouldn't want to go to Las Vegas and play a couple of games there, and have a day off there or 2 days off there? I mean, no better place to come. And I think it worked out perfect. And I don't know how big it. I'm sure there was some fun there, and there's a lot of rookie parties there. There's no doubt. So we took advantage of it, and that was good.
All right, how was this situation different though? Like you did win the Calder in Vegas, and then you guys make the playoffs the next year. Then, like you get fired. Like it's so crazy. Like it comes out of nowhere. How hard was this one on you, Gerard? Like when you find out, what are the days after that like for you?
This one, that was tough. Like this one came out of the blue. Like I didn't expect this. I had no idea this was coming. And when it happened, I just sort of said, "Are we kidding? Like, are we serious here?" Like it was a 4-game losing streak. We underachieve some for the first 50 games? No doubt in my mind. Like I was disappointed too. I wasn't happy with the way we were playing. But still, I figured we had one of the better teams in the league, if not the best, in my opinion, at that time, and things were going not great. I mean, we won 4 games in a row before that. We ended up losing 4 in a row, and I think there's 3 games until the All-Star game, and then all of a sudden, you're fired. And I'm saying, well, like what happened here? I mean, I don't know. I still don't know today. I mean, I wish it's just the expectations were high. They told me, and we weren't meeting the standards, so that was about it.
Cam and Strick Podcast here for Canadips.
Oh, yeah.
CanadipsCBD.com. Check it out. Check out all flavors. Have you been chewing? You know how old chew is? Get in with the new. Get in with CBD. Canadips. Check out all the flavors. Get yourself a California roll today and find out which one is best for you. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick and you'll save 50%. CanadipsCBD.com. Now back to the interview. Isn't that hard, though? Like, you don't get an explanation. I mean, here you are, like, several months later, and you still don't know why and, like, what the reason was for. Like, that's amazing. To most people, I bet you they would find that just shocking a little bit. That you just never are given an explanation.
Vegas. What about the Sharks Vegas where old boy got hit in the head?
Hold on. Take us through that play.
Yeah.
All right, because you had the playoff game, right? The 5-minute major, and of course, San Jose just went crazy.
Yeah.
Pavelski off the faceoff hits his head on the ice. Like,
take us through that real quick.
If that play doesn't happen, I don't even know if we're having this conversation right now, Gerard. You never know.
No,
he called the pod.
That has a lot to do with it. I think that's where it started. Obviously, I mean, them scoring 4 goals and beating us in Game 7, which and like I said, we all know it should never have happened. I mean, obviously it was. And, fortunately for Joe, he was okay. And, I mean, he missed the next round of the playoffs, too. So it was a bad injury, but to nobody, there was no fault there. It was a complete accident. It should never have been a penalty, obviously. And, but to give up 4 goals is really tough. And, the fortunate thing, we battled back and tied it up and went in overtime and then lost. But, that game, we were in control of that game. It was 3-0. We were cruising, playing great hockey. So it was disappointing. Especially after the year before going to the finals, and then this year we thought, we're going to go to we're going to be probably the team to beat, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, Vegas just, I don't know, but I know you called Peter DeBoer a clown too, and then he gets the job. Like,
I play for Pete.
Like when was that an emotional moment? Like, do you still have an issue with him? Like, where do you stand on that?
No, me and Peter, there's no issues there. Yeah. What happened there was, in the morning skate, Pete said to the reporters that Gerard is talking too much to his players, like talking to Kane and not too much, and that's not right, So he sort of called me out a little bit on that. And that's when that night I went back before the game, for the evening, for the media scrum, and I said, if he said that, he's a clown, because I said, I've never talked to his players. I said, the only time I talked to any of his players is when Patrick Kane's yelling at the bench, telling me to send out Reeves, and your little puppet or whatever he was calling Reeves. He said, send out your little guy, and I'm saying, do you really wanna? Like, I'll send him out. Just tell me when. And then once I was yelling at the referee because I was mad at the Couturier got hit in the face with a high stick, and from our camera view, it didn't really hit him. It hit his visor. Didn't. And we got a 4-minute penalty for that. So twice I yelled out. And then, me and Pete talked the next year. We both apologized. I didn't want to. I should never have said what I said, and he should never have said what he said in the morning, because what he said didn't really happen. But you know what? You're trying to win a playoff game, and it's a lot of emotion. So, But no, there's nothing towards me and Pete. I mean, I think it's a good, we're two coaches, and I respect Pete DeBoer. He's a good person, a good guy.
Yeah, totally. And OHL boy. Yeah, no, we love that. Okay, just remember that. Everybody loves that. You need that once in a while, and then all of a sudden you guys go have a couple beers afterwards. Who cares? But you're right. Isn't that funny? You're right. Evander Kane's calling out Reaver, and you're like, yeah, you want him, homeboy. Like, let's go. You want him? Like, get out of here with that. But did you ever... Like, okay, I remember playing, and John Tortorella would chirp me, and I like him. I had heard so many people that like him too, and I'd be like, why are you talking to me? Covey played 25 minutes already. This is my third shift. Did you talk to the players ever?
Never. Because you know what? When I was a player, I wouldn't want to coach soccer either. So that's what I say. I'd never talk to a player. I mean, like I said, when a player looks at me and starts talking to me, I'm going to answer him back. I'm going to tell him, what he has to be told.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to reach out and say, never.
Can I ask you this? When you get fired, like what happens? Like, does the team pay for you to travel going wherever you are to wherever you're going?
No.
Like,
You get a bottle of wine with the wife?
Like what happens? Like, do they just immediately just cut the cord right then and there?
Pretty much, but no, they take care of you. They get you back home wherever you're going to go. I mean, there's a travel coordinator on every team, and he's the first class guy. I mean, he comes to he called me up and said, Turk, where do you want to go? Or, you going to Canada, you going home, you going back to Vegas, where you want to go? I'll get you a flight. I'll get you down there. They're first class. They do the right things, and it's like I said, it's a tough day. You got to through a tough time. The first 3 weeks is real tough. I mean, you're disappointed, you're frustrated, and you're saying, what did I do around here? What's the problem here? And that's the toughest part about it. But fortunately for me, when I left there, I come back to actually the month in New Brunswick. That's where my daughter is and the grandkids. So I had the two grandkids there. We spent a couple of weeks there.
Darryl boys. I played against some in the O.
Boys, yeah.
I played against some in the O, Gerald. I think I might have elbowed them a couple of times. So tell them I said I'm sorry about that.
Hey, the owner fired you in Florida. So who fired you in Vegas? Was it Kelly or was it George? Like, who handles that?
It was Kelly and George. Yeah, they were both in there. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so after that happens, and we're gonna let you go, man. And you've been great, and we appreciate this. But afterwards, you just call the wife and just be like, "Can you just comfort me tonight? Can we open a bottle of wine? Can we just chill? Maybe make a bath? Like, what do you like? Just chill. Like, you work your ass off. You grind it for so long. You've done so many things. Like, does a wife comfort you?
No, you know what? Seriously, the first 3 days, you just sort of I wanted to be just by myself. Like, the wife was there. So the first 3 days, you're still cranking. You're just wondering what's going on. And obviously, you're getting 500 phone calls and text messages and all that. So you try and get through that stuff. And after that, no, we went to Florida. We have a place in Florida we went down to, after the first 2 weeks. But seriously, the biggest thing was spending those 2 weeks with the grandkids. That really helps.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn right.
Inside the outdoor rink and playing hockey with them and having fun and get your mind off it. And the other side of it is, you still have a year and a half left in your contract, and you say, it's not all that bad. I mean, you're disappointed.
Yeah.
You're leaving a great organization. You're leaving the players that you really like. Your expansion players. You got a long break with them for 2.5 years. Everything was, for 2.5 years, everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. 4 games later, you're fired. So that's the toughest part of the whole thing.
Wow,
the boys love you.
It's so crazy. Hey,
the boys love
you have a
by
reputation though of being a player's coach. Like, is there anything that you would change for your next job? Because you're going to get a next job that's going to come relatively soon. Like, what would you change now with your next job that you learned from your previous 2 jobs, or wouldn't you change anything at all?
I wouldn't change a thing. No, I wouldn't change a thing. What people say, I'm a player's coach, and I'm 100%. They're 100% right. But what's a player's coach today? I mean, I think if you ask Max Pacioretty and Cody Eakin and a few of those guys, they'd say, yeah, he's a player's coach, but he's tough as hell.
Yeah.
I'm a player's coach when things are going good and we got to do the right things and our team's playing the right way we want. You know what? Let's go out there and have fun, boys. I'm not going to change nothing. Do your jobs, and that's all we got to worry about. You have good practice, and let's go to work.
All right, one more question.
You have to be a hard ass. You're a hard ass.
Yeah, I hear you, man. One more question, then we'll let you go, man. But, Seattle is a team that's going to need a coach. You obviously have coached with an expansion team in the past. I know there's been some link to some other teams, who have coaches now, so we won't talk about those. But would that be of interest to you to go coach another expansion team? Being in Seattle, what would you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. No, 100% sure. I mean, they're going to have a first-class operation there again. It's an expansion team, and like you said, the last one went real well. I enjoyed every minute of it. So if that was the opportunity, and I got the opportunity to do it, I'd be excited as hell.
Good. Well, we'll be your podcast. And by the way, go down to Florida and do your thing. And Andy and I are obsessed with boats, although he doesn't know how to drive one. But go down to Florida and enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself.
Or just hang out in Summerside, man. You're good
tell
either way.
Yeah, where are you at down in Florida, by the way? You chilling out? You got a boat or what?
No, I'm not in Florida. I'm in Prince Edward Island right now.
Summerside.
Yeah, but he goes down there. He just said he did, Andy. That's why I'm asking this. So,
do you have a boat?
No. Daryl Boyce has a boat. I can't afford it. I go on Daryl Boyce's boat.
Scavenge off him. Good. That's what he needs to bring to the table. You're absolutely right. You're right.
Well, listen, man. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much,
Gerard.
man.
And look forward to seeing what your next move is, man. Best of luck to you.
Right on.
Thanks a lot. Say hello to Rick Zombo for me, my good buddy.
You got it.
We absolutely
will. Sure.
See you, bud.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. That was Gerard Gallant.
Yeah.
What stands out?
Man, he's just a good guy. Like, he's been through a lot. Went through Probert days and shit like that. Coach got fired. Did this, did that. Like, he's done it all, man. Mm-hmm. You pick guys' brains like that. That's what you do. And that's what we did.
Yeah. And he's smart, too, man. He knows how to coach, and he knows he's going to get another job. And I'm glad that he came out here and he was willing to chat with us, too.
Of course.
Could you imagine getting fired? Like, I know you've gotten sent down and stuff like that, Cam. But, like, as a coach, when you're having success – and when you're winning and you help a team get to the Stanley Cup final in their first year of existence, and then in year 3, they're firing you. Like, what? It's a cutthroat business, man.
You learn from it, man. You just learn from it. It's cutthroat. And
I love how he said he wouldn't change a thing.
No, I know. And Pete DeBoer kind of outplayed him a little bit, I guess. I guess that was their conviction on how they wanted to. I don't know. That was very bizarre.
Yeah.
That's tough. But he dealt with it. And he's doing
they had a 4-game losing streak. They had lost a couple games at home, and then they went on the road and they lost in Buffalo, and that's when they fired him. But then they were going to Ottawa. I don't know. Wouldn't you kind of be like, hey, let's see how he does against Ottawa?
Exactly. Yeah. Can we beat them 12-0 first?
Let's beat Ottawa, and then we'll see how it goes.
But he was great.
Oh, he was great, man. And he was tough back in the day, so we appreciate him coming on with us. All right. As always, that interview on the Cam and Strick Podcast was brought to you by CarShield and CarShield.com. Again, give them a call today, 800-857-2481. 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM. You're going to save 10% for CarShield. Get that protection today. Bud Light Seltzer, all the flavors, all y'all. You know the flavors, lemon, lime, strawberry, black cherry, and mango. And now they're throwing in some lemon, dude, the lemonade. That is crazy. Mango. Let us know if you've had that. We haven't even had the lemonade yet.
Oh, I have.
Oh, have you? Were you part of the taste testing?
Yeah. Of course I was.
The first person to ever try it.
Why wouldn't I be?
In fact, I was the first person, I think, actually, to ever try that.
It's funny how you, reverse that whole story. No, I was.
You're trying to take credit.
Because I did.
The first person ever.
Dude, they send me everything.
I know. That's amazing that you have that type of inside
scoop.
I'm
cool.
Yeah, with Bud Light. All right, candidates, you mentioned all the flavors, man.
Yeah.
Have you settled in on the one that you like the most? Like, for you, like, where are you
Wintergreen.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, the mint, the minty type.
I didn't like the citrus. Mango, of course, is in a class of its own.
I need the mint.
I didn't like the citrus at the beginning, and now, because now, like, a lot of times they make us wear masks when we're on the ice and stuff like that. So I'll put one in there during practice and stuff like that, and the flavor lasts. The flavor lasts the entire practice.
It does.
Yes.
And it makes you chilled out.
Yeah.
Actually, your interview's been a lot better because of that.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
You think? Can you see?
Actually, your interview's been a lot better since you had your mask on.
You can't. Well, no, the mask is off. You can't even see the.
No, it's on. Oh, it's not.
You can't even see the candidates in there.
Not at all.
No, you can.
And you can't tell. You're not slurring your words. Or anything.
No, you have no idea. You have no idea. So again, candidatecbd.com. Check that out. Big things coming up for the Super Bowl. Of course, Bellman.com. Our boy Dan Bellman. What up, Dan?
What up, baby?
This guy is just flat out getting it done out there in Troy, Missouri. He's got the Cadillac, the Buick, the GMC across the street, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Oh, I get that Buick.
Yeah, Cam's looking at that Buick Enclave, pearl white with the captain seats.
Got the Beamer.
Dude, if it says Bellman on the license plate or on the back,
well, you look classy.
That just gives you the credibility. That's all you need to see or know.
Goddamn right, baby.
I mean, think about it.
It's like your wife's like, oh, Bellman? Oh, yeah, I can go there and not get creeped out.
Yeah. All right, how about Keep It Handsome and keepithandsome.com. Again, get those hair products today. Get the shampoo, the conditioner. Make sure you smell right.
Oh, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I swear to God, my lovely wife, who is a dime piece and a pure soul, is what we say. Pure soul. That's a new hashtag. She's a pure soul. She does everything like pure, like an angel would do. But she smells my hair and she turns into like kind of sexual angel. Is that? And she's like, I kind of want to have sex with you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Can I jump in the shower first? I just ran a mile because I work out a lot now. No, I don't. But I do stink. But she's like, I don't care because your hair smells great. And I'm like, what's up, baby? Right. Let's go. Right. Let's go.
I have similar occurrences.
You don't do shit.
I do. When I
no,
I have some similar situations going on in my house.
No.
When I put
Get
the
your dog in the fucking house.
I put the beard moisturizer on it.
Oh, that poor dog.
And the dog had
Worry about the fucking dog.
Like ice cubes all over its feet. It looked like it had shoes on, and it couldn't even walk across the floor because its feet
It's water, you fuck.
No, they were frozen.
It's water, though. And you won't let the dog in because it has, like, frozen water on it. God damn it. God, that poor thing.
He doesn't want to come in.
Oh, God.
He loves it out there.
He doesn't want to die.
He doesn't even want to come in.
Do you feed him?
He's got so much hair.
Do you feed him?
Twice a day.
A pebble?
Nah,
what kind of food is it? No, seriously.
Scoops.
I'm worried about this shit.
I don't know the name of the food.
Oh, God. It's probably like grass and like whole wheat
but
shit.
He destroyed Ty's snowman yesterday. It wasn't cool. Ate the chocolate chips out of his eyes.
Oh, God.
His buttons.
Andy doesn't even have meat in his house or anything. So, like, the dog probably eats grass. It's not a fucking cow, man. What the fuck's wrong with you? God damn this. Dude, he's eating fucking grass and like fucking poor like clovers and shit. Probably he's eating poison ivy. What the fuck he's eating?
Who, the dog?
The dog.
Well, that's okay. Listen, dogs
needs
know
protein.
What to eat, what not to eat. Well, anyway, the dog's fine, but I'm considering
it's 13 pounds. Supposed to be like 90.
We haven't made a decision as to whether or not we're going to keep Blaze or not, and give
Are you
Blaze.
out of your
we're gonna
fucking mind?
Give Blaze to you.
Don't piss me. Don't start. I got a kitty cat out right now, and I'm already losing my mind.
They wouldn't let me get rid of Blaze though. If I wanted to, they wouldn't let me.
Poor
but
thing.
Stop biting everybody, Blaze, and stop. He eats.
He doesn't bite, dude. That's a nibble.
No, he bites at it.
It's a fucking.
And he eats everyone's socks and their gloves. Okay,
that's
what I'm dealing with. That's what I'm dealing with.
Oh my God.
Victor Hockey, man, he's got some great stuff too. Have you checked that out? Victor Hockey,
does he have dog food?
USA on Instagram and Twitter. Check them out, victorhockey.com. Yeah. Get those Cam and Strick hats, by the way. We have them on sale. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick, you'll save $10.
Damn right, baby.
Yeah, save $10 if you mention the promo code Cam and Strick.
It is a big 20% off.
It is. CamandStrick.com. Get your hats today. When we drive, we drive.
Black tie, baby.
That's right.
That's what we do.
You can too.
I look classy, although I'm a fucking Hoosier.
Well, they've got all different types of
stuff. Kate looks sexy.
They've got something that'll make everybody look classy.
Yeah.
They got an entire fleet of vehicles ranging from exotic to luxury to economy.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool, man. It's so simple. You get the app. You go on your app. You pick which car you want. You want a Maserati, dude, you can do that. Yeah. You want a G-Wagon. You want a BMW. Like, honestly, pick out which car you want. They'll bring it to you. It is truly amazing, and it's great to have them with us here in St. Louis, dude. So, again, only 100 spots available. I can't stress this enough. If you're interested, call Dylan today. Just check it out. Drive
cool
Black
cat.
Tie. You can talk to Ellie, too.
Yeah, she's awesome girl, too, by the way.
But
awesome.
Once they get to 100, and they're getting close, then you're going to have to be on the waiting list.
Yeah.
And if you're on the waiting list, it's okay, too.
Get in on it.
But get in on it now and secure one of those top 100 spots. So anyway, Drive Black Tie. It's a top-tier, one-of-a-kind subscription service that offers their service to a select group of 100 members in the St. Louis area. So
big
again,
dogs.
Proud to have Black Tie with us on the Cam and Strick podcast. All right, this has been episode number 110 with Gerard Gallant. Available everywhere you get your podcast. This is the Cam and Strick podcast.